What is up, everyone, and welcome to what I hope is going to become a new trend on the WAN show.
We're on time?
We are early.
Oh.
Now think about this. If we could be this early for a consecutive year,
We could like make up.
we could make our way back to neutral.
That is a good point.
We've got a great show lined up for you guys today. Of course, our headline topic is Adobe getting their just desserts of finally getting at least some attention on some of the, if not illegal, at least very anti-consumer and offensive billing practices that they have participated in over the last little while. I got signed out of Google Docs right as I was saying that. So Luke gets to pick 3 topics today. No, Luke, it's
All
your
right.
day. It's your day to shine.
The Snapdragon X launch was not quite what people had hoped, but there is some good news. Also, Nvidia becomes the world's most valuable company.
Didn't they already become? Oh yeah, okay.
Continues to do extremely Nvidia-like things.
Nice.
Which we'll also discuss. And
his
Softbank
brain
develops real-time emotion canceling tech.
It was a very, very short break, but his brain was like, I have done 2 topics now. Surely the intro will come. Today's show is brought to you by Squarespace, MSI, Control D, and of course our chair partner, Secret Lab. Why don't we jump right into the big Adobe topic first, assuming that I can find it. Yes. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. What I want to do first is I want to talk about the moment when I realized Adobe had completely jumped the shark. So when we were in the early, but not quite like ridiculous growth phase where we added like 50 people in 18 months or 24 months or whatever it was. But when we were growing at a pretty steady clip and adding creatives to our cloud, I actually don't think of our team as a cloud of employees. That's actually super weird. They're not sperm.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
Anymore. I haven't slept much, okay?
Oh, man.
The point is that when we were growing at a pretty steady clip, one of the things that you have to do is you have to add seats to your Adobe Creative Cloud subscription, right? So every time we would add a new person, part of the onboarding was for us to grab a new Adobe Creative Cloud subscription and set it to their email, and they would have 2 concurrent logins and all those rules and everything, right? But then one day something bizarre happened. Someone left or was fired or something. I can't remember, but for the first time in forever, our headcount in the editing department or in one of the creative departments went down by 1. And I was like, oh, okay. I was the administrator of our Adobe account at the time. And I was like, well, surely this is no problem. I will simply go in and you can't remove a seat. When you just like, when you're an organization that has, I mean, at that point, we probably had somewhere between half a dozen and a dozen seats or something like that. And when you're an organization that has a bunch of seats, when you add another seat, you can't cancel it unless you pay. I think you can pay like a cancellation, an early termination fee. But that blew my mind. The fact that adding seats was like permanent. Like if your company didn't just grow forever, that was it.
The whole seat system is just crazy to me in general. Like there's a lot of enterprise software, enterprise SaaS solutions that operate on a seat system, and it doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Of course, that's not the part that's necessarily illegal. Let's get into why Adobe is being jointly sued by the U.S. Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission, alleging that the company imposed a hidden early termination fee and complex and challenging cancellation process upon subscribers, violating the Restore Online Shoppers Confidence Act. Wow, what a catchy name.
Which has been around since 2010.
So it's the hidden nature, it's the dark patterns that were present in the sign-up process that made it so that, and you know what, truthfully, if I had read the entire terms and conditions, I probably would have known. I probably would have known that I was signing up for a 1-year subscription, not simply adding another seat to my monthly bill that I was paying. Because from my point of view, I wasn't terminating anything. I was just altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it further. You know, like I was just changing the amount I was paying them per month. But from their point of view, no, we have a dozen individual year-long contracts, and I don't know, whichever one you've canceled is whichever one has the longest amount left on. No, I actually don't know that part.
I do wonder how that works.
Now, this is pretty cool. Oh, right. So I was going to say, sure, I could have read all of that, but realistically, I was running a fledgling business. What I was going to spend a bunch of money on a lawyer that we can't afford to read a EULA for me, or I was going to sit and waste like 2 hours of my day reading a EULA. They know that isn't going to happen, and that's why they hide these details in these verbose documents. Now, this is the most interesting part of this, because some like asshole company having deceptive or misleading subscription practices is not exactly newsworthy. But what is really fascinating about this to me is that the lawsuit is targeting specific Adobe executives. Maninder Sawhney, president of Digital Media Business, and David Wadhwani, the VP of Digital Go-to-Market and Sales. I don't follow this as closely as, you know, some legal scholars probably do. So for you in the comments, thank you for your scholarship in the field of legality. And I appreciate that you've noticed this before, but I haven't noticed this before. Going after a company while also specifically naming individuals who would have had to be complicit in these practices.
It seems good.
I love it.
It seems good.
I love it.
I think it's good.
Why do you get to just be like, well, no, a corporation is a person, and I was just the like shoulder skin cell. Surely you can't convict me of murder just because the right hand was all stab, 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 stab. There should be some accountability for the individuals in these organizations that are making these decisions.
Enthusiastically, yes.
I am happy. Anyway, the U.S. DOJ and FTC alleged that Adobe pushed Creative Cloud subscribers into annual plans without disclosing that canceling the first year could cost hundreds of dollars. Under the leadership of Chair Lina Khan, the FTC has been cracking down on deceptive practices like this. Last year, they filed a similar lawsuit against Amazon for their Prime membership sign-up and cancellation process.
Which was awesome.
I'm super happy about this. I think this is absolutely fantastic. It turned out we didn't end up canceling our subscription because we knew we were probably going to hire someone because we were growing. And that is exactly the kind of, I'm going to say it, outright theft that these kinds of practices allow, where I signed a deal not understanding the terms, not because I'm an idiot, but because they buried it somewhere knowing that I would be sort of an idiot, some fractional amount of an idiot. But
aren't we all
justifiably idiotic? There, I need a shirt that says that on it. I'm an idiot in a way that I can really put my convictions behind. So they took that money from me because I didn't properly understand the deal, where I paid for nothing for some period of time until we actually added another person.
A lot of people are saying they would buy that shirt.
The joke's on you, though, Adobe, because at that time, we were using our second sign-in to have twice as many editors as we had licenses.
Yeah, get owned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I broke your terms of service, and I don't even feel bad. Also, we used pirated CS6 for like the first probably year or two. I don't remember when we actually first bought Creative Cloud.
Pirated Sony Vegas before that. if it helps. Was that real?
I was paid.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I am one of the dozens who purchased Sony Vegas movie studio.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
If you don't do anything special in it at all, it's really easy to use.
You can even do some like kind of
Some
cool stuff in
specialty
it.
things in it.
The fact that Adobe software has so many tiny little icons, and I get it. Macros and hotkeys and everything are absolutely an essential part
way to go.
of using this software. But imagine for a moment if, there were certain manipulations that I could do on the timeline that just didn't require me to click on a teeny tiny little indicator button, and also didn't require me to press anything on my keyboard, and the whole thing was just a lot more casual. I actually quite liked editing in Sony Vegas. Yes, It's owned by Magix now. Who is
Magix Vegas?
Someone? Yeah, it's Magix Vegas.
That's a worse name.
Yeah, I assume that there are lions involved. Or tigers, dang it. My brain is so tired that I was like Sigmund and Freud. No, wait. Siegfried and Roy. That's the one. Why don't we do another topic?
Oh, fantastic.
My brain doesn't turn on before noon at the best of times.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Last night I was up pretty late working on a slideshow. So
yeah,
I'm a vibe today. My hair is as flat as I feel tired. Come on, let's get this some elevation here. That did not work at all. Okay, hit
well,
me.
you work on that. I'll go with the Snapdragon X launch. Snapdragon X launch, not quite Microsoft's Apple Silicon moment, but hey, they sleep and wake real good, which is actually,
I mean that's
a win. That's a genuine W. Right?
I'm honestly, that would make me consider switching. Right there. What do I even do on my laptop?
Browser
like
stuff?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Do I look as tired as I think I do?
I think we sort of both do. I think you probably look a little bit more tired because I probably got a little bit more sleep. But
nice.
But yeah.
What were you up so late doing?
Oh, just being me. I wasn't up nearly as late as you.
Okay.
Though. Yeah.
So just dumb.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Justifiably so, though,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. He needed the me time.
Yeah. But yeah.
Elijah,
this is just me in the morning.
I'm actually not kidding. Get back to work. Turn off the WAN show. You can watch later. You're being a very bad example. Okay, go.
Optics.
Yes.
It took me like 6 years of that speech to get it. You'll get there eventually.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude, the conversations I used to have with this guy, I'd be like, look, okay, if I like slip you a power supply or something, like don't make a song and dance of it, because like we can't give a power supply to everyone, just like you're going to make it so that we can't do, this is why we can't have nice things, because as soon as people make a big deal about stuff, it's like, okay, well, look, we can't give out 100 power supplies every time, we do something. It's like now people aren't allowed to borrow stuff from the office anymore.
Yep.
Way to go, Luke.
I think that was mostly camera stuff, wasn't it?
It started with the camera stuff because camera operators would borrow things, and it was mostly fine, except that all of a sudden we had so many creatives and only so many cameras, and all of a sudden we're sitting here going, okay, so sorry, what are we going to create, like a sign out sheet and like a prioritization system? And one of the big challenges is that if they don't have actual third-party insurance for the shoot that they're doing, which mostly they didn't because it was like little indie projects and stuff. If they don't have it legally, I actually am not allowed to just like take it out of their pay or whatever.
Right, that makes sense.
They can voluntarily pay it back, and I could choose to accept that. But if something gets broken, like from a legal standpoint here in BC, I can't just like dock someone's pay to be recompensated for something that they broke or lost. It doesn't work that way. So the liability of having people just like borrowing stuff all the time and the tracking of it was all of a sudden going to be like a substantial amount of someone's job. And we're looking at it going like, how does this make any sense? So forget it. All right, Snapdragon X. Sorry, go on.
No worries. Yeah, the first Copilot Plus laptops powered by Qualcomm's ARM-based Snapdragon X series chips officially launched on Tuesday, and so far, reviews are tentatively positive, praising the arrival of Windows laptops that actually sleep and wake properly.
Nice.
But get ready for the caveats. The only full reviews on launch day were for the Asus VivoBook S15, featuring the lowest tier Snapdragon X Elite, the X1E78-100.
Can I interrupt for a second? As part of our briefing with Qualcomm, this part clearly did not make it into the sponsored piece that we did on the launch. But as part of our breeding with Qualcomm, as part of our briefing with Qualcomm, I probably let them have it for about 13 minutes on their naming scheme for these things.
Yeah, during your...
Dude.
You let them have it for 13 minutes?
Yeah.
During your what?
Yeah. Oh, no. That was much less than 13 minutes. Are you kidding me? Do you know how happy Yvonne would be if I could go 13 minutes? No.
Oh, no.
So that is that is the actual model number of that chip. X1E-78-100 is a consumer-facing model number. I'm not even... And I was like, no, you guys need to change that now. And they're like, what's wrong with it?
What does it even stand for? So X1E, I'm assuming, is like X1 Elite?
Yes.
But then what is 78 and 100?
So I didn't even realize.
They all seem to end in 100.
I didn't even realize until we were doing our briefing with them that there are various bins of the various Snapdragon Elite chips. So here you go. Here's the SKU lineup from like some article or something. This just demonstrates my point. So it's Snapdragon X1 Elite, it's Snapdragon X Elite and Snapdragon X Plus. I've got no problem with that. That's fine.
Sure.
And they were like, so what's wrong with it? It's Snapdragon X Elite and Snapdragon X Plus. I'm like, nothing. That's great. That's basically like your good, better, best. It's your i5, i7. It's your regular, your LE, your SE, your touring or whatever, coming back to cars. Sure, that's fine. You got your different trim levels. You got your different stratified product lines. No problem. What the ever-loving is this? So I'm like, okay, no problem. We got X1 Elite. I'm with you here. Then we've got a designation. Okay, so we got 84, 80, and 78. So these are three different bins of the chip that run at different clock speeds that, ironically, if I'm kind of looking at this, okay, so the 84 is 4 more than 80, and it gets 0.2 gigahertz more. But the GPU is a lot faster, and then the 80 is only 2 more than the 78, but it's clocked like way the crap higher on 2-core max turbo on the CPU, but it gets the same GPU. What does this mean? Also, why is there a random 100 at the end?
I think you can either keep the 1 in between the X and the E, or you can keep the 100. You got to pick one, drop the other.
I do not understand. The 100 is probably the generation. I don't care.
But then what's the 1 in between the X1E?
Basically, what I told them was, I was like, look, have you ever been to London Drugs? London Drugs is a regional sort of, I don't know what they sell. They sell everything. They have like bagged chips and cosmetics and TVs.
It's like a really expensive corner store that also has a pharmacy.
Some small appliances. Like it's I don't know. It's kind of a weird chain.
Yeah.
They seem like kind of cool people, sort of cowboys, but like in a cool way. Anyway, London Drugs, everyone.
London Drugs seems like cowboys.
I just mean like yeehaw.
They do it their own way?
Exactly.
All right.
They're cowboys.
Yeah.
So I went into one recently to buy a television for my grandparents. They just needed a bigger TV so that they could see the picture on the screen. And they carry a handful of brands. And what I noticed was that, hey, it's been a while since I've been in a small regional electronics store because, I used to work at one and then I had no reason to go to one after that. And I was trying to compare TVs to each other because I've been out of the loop for a little bit.
Sure.
On budget TVs. Like, I kind of know what's going on at the high end that everyone wants to talk to you about at a trade show or whatever. But in terms of what people actually buy, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to need to kind of refresh myself on, does this one, how many local dimming zones does this have? And does this one have, how many HDMI inputs does this have? That kind of thing. And as I went around and I looked at the little product cards, right, I realized that they weren't comparable to each other at all. They told me basically nothing. And so this was
custom, like this is our version of whatever.
Well, there was no consistency. So Joe in the warehouse might have printed up this one, and then Sally in the front might have printed up this one, and she didn't look at what Joe did. So she just kind of made up her own list of key important specs. So they weren't comparable.
I see. Okay.
It was so hard to compare. And realistically, I talked to Sally. No, it was some dude. I don't remember their name, but I talked to someone and I was like, this is even less helpful. But that's what a lot of people are dealing with when they go to buy something. And frankly, the big box stores are not a lot better. And so, like, I was at a Costco and I was comparing the cards on the different PCs and TVs and stuff, just because I was thinking about this afterward, and I was like, yeah, it's better, but it's not consistent either. And so what I was talking to them about is I was like, look, this is confusing. This is going to end up on there. Like, what does it mean? And they brought out their decoder sheet, kind of like Intel has for their product names. And I was like, right, but the consumer's not going to have that. So basically, my problem so far, because we haven't gotten through the rest of the topic, is I would like to see a coherent naming scheme. I would like to see these. You know what? I give up. This is the same company that just has Snapdragon 8 Gen whatever. No, forget it. Let's keep going.
It's just not going to happen.
Yep. Carry on.
Okay. Most performance and efficiency benchmarks have it matching or slightly exceeding Intel and AMD's current competitors, which is good to hear. It usually beats Apple's base M3 in multi-core, but is worse when it comes to single-core performance and efficiency. Gaming performance is still in question. The Copilot Plus PCs are not gaming laptops, but despite launching a dedicated website to catalog game compatibility, early reviews noted games like Overwatch 2 and Witcher 3 performed much worse than their ratings would actually suggest. Some reviews covering the faster X1E 80-100, wow, that sucks. And the X1E 84-100 have started to trickle out, but truly comprehensive reviews are in short supply.
I want to see the 100 dropped. Qualcomm,
yes.
If you're watching this, just lose the 100 and we're good.
X1E 80 and X1E 84 would have been great. And then when you go to next generation, just make it X2E.
Yeah, perfect.
And it would be
solution
fantastic.
Solved.
Yep. According to Windows Central's Zach Bowden, many media outlets only received review units on Tuesday, thanks to Microsoft's last-minute recall of its recall feature. That is a funny line, but yeah, it also something that actually happened. Microsoft has also reportedly changed Copilot from a locally run to a progressive web app, removing its ability to control Windows settings, which
is less convenient, but probably really good for security.
Better.
With that said, sorry, I'm totally going to tangent again.
Sure.
We did a super cool video this week. That's not the show.
That's sort of the show.
It's an integral
part. The part of the show people care about.
All right. We did a really cool video this week. We got our hands on a hard drive that contained basically every malware known to man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you know about this.
Yeah. Well, I know about both the hard drive and the fact that we have it.
Yeah. Is your team like terrified that is sitting on a shelf here?
Oh, no, it's like a thing. You can just get those.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but does it bother you that it's just like here and someone could like grab it and do something with it?
Not really.
Doesn't really matter. You can download all the same stuff. It's from a place called VX Underground.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, super cool. A little sketchy. We don't really know anything about the folks that are behind it, so there is no recommendation here. We bought a hard drive.
But it's cool, and it's a really interesting tool for like learning about how this stuff works.
Yes, and I will tell you that I, fundamentally understood, how things can get pwned, and people can remote access whatever, remote access Trojan, rat or whatever. I'd never seen the interface. I'd never used one. We fired up the boar rat, and like, oh my God. The fact that Copilot can't change your settings anymore or whatever, it's like, honestly, probably kind of irrelevant. Like, yes, more attack vectors is more bad.
It's a different way in.
But realistically, knowing that social engineering is so much of how people are and the fact that an application like this exists that allows you to do literally anything to the target computer. You can do anything. You can BSOD it for fun. You just like you can do anything. So guys, check out the video. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But basically what I'm saying is, it's probably good that Copilot is not going to be an attack vector.
Less holes in the Swiss cheese.
Less holes in the Swiss cheese, but realistically,
there's a lot of holes in the Swiss cheese.
Yeah, they don't call it Swiss cheese because it's a solid block right now.
Modern Windows machines with Windows Defender are pretty good.
Sure.
It's a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah.
Like, actually.
Oh, trust me, I know. I mean, I remember when you couldn't have your network port plugged in while you installed Windows XP if you had an old disk, because otherwise Blasterworm would literally infect the system just randomly before you did anything, faster than you could download an antivirus program.
Oh, man. Okay. Where was I?
I don't know.
Microsoft also reportedly changed Copilot. Oh, right. No, already read that. The surprisingly capable new ARM chips are in danger of being overshadowed in a couple months by Intel's very impressive looking Lunar Lake and AMD's Ryzen AI 300 laptop chips, not to mention M4 MacBooks expected in the fall. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Can we actually give Apple props?
For what?
Their chip names?
Yes.
They're good.
Yes. They are good.
They're good.
They're easy to understand.
Extremely.
What is an M1 Ultra? Quick.
A better M1?
Sort of. Well, okay.
I haven't followed it at all.
Okay, so an M1, there's M1 Plus, M1, it's either Pro or Plus, M1 Max, and then M1 Ultra is two M1 Maxes.
Okay.
So basically, they've got good, better, best, ultimate, which is totally fine.
Which is two.
You've got M, which is what it is. I don't know. It's Apple M Silicon. Don't worry about it. And then you've just got a generation name. It's funny because Apple is both the best and the worst at this stuff. Even as bloated as
they
the
either
iPhone,
like give it a good name or just don't actually name it at all.
As bloated as the iPhone lineup has become, with Pro and Plus and Pro Max,
pretty easy.
Everything has a clear meaning. What is Pro? It means it has sort of something extra that probably most people don't need. It got a little bit confusing when they did that generation. I forget what it was, where they had both the 8 and the 10, and then they like skipped 9 or something like that when they had the X.
The X, yeah.
But at least there was a reason for it. It was the 10th anniversary, and the 3G and 3GS sort of generation had gotten a little muddy with respect to what gen was what, and they were kind of like they were almost like fixing it, and okay, there has been, again, a little bit of muddiness where sometimes, you get a generational number on an iPhone, but it actually has the last gen chip. The current gen is like that, if I recall correctly, where only the Pro got the current gen chip. Okay, so things can get a little bit confusing. But
shooting log, though.
But year to year, it's very clear exactly which one you've got. And then they've got
you're buying an iPhone.
Then they've got stuff like the Mac Pro. They just keep calling it Mac Pro, and I'm expected to know what portion of which year it was released. I'm supposed to keep track of that. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. So I don't get it, because clearly Apple knows how to name things so that you understand that there's like a benefit to upgrading to it, but sometimes they just don't want you to know that. You just have MacBook Air, and it's like, okay, yeah, I've got MacBook Air. Why can't I install a modern browser on it?
What is his name? Sebas Conter. We got the Europeans in the chat today. There's going to be some names I can't pronounce very well.
Nice.
He said, but the processor completes the name now. This is the Mac Pro with M2 chip.
Okay, well then that's good.
That does help a bit.
That helps a lot. That helps a lot. So hey, kudos for improvement.
Yeah. Way to go.
Yeah, I'm happy to see it. There are a lot of Mac Pros that do not have that.
Yes.
Though, just to be clear.
Yes.
All right.
Continuing. So there's the new Intel and AMD laptops coming, and also the new M4 MacBooks are expected in the fall. A new leak indicates that Qualcomm has more unannounced X series CPUs coming, although they are on the lower end of the lineup, so it probably isn't going to matter.
We should stream this time of day more often. What the heck? We have like significantly more viewers than usual.
Is it just because it's abnormal?
I have no idea.
Nice.
Yeah, we were spoiled by Apple's amazing ARM transition. That was wild. Qualcomm might have overhyped these. We also don't know how the better tier chips are supposed to perform. We don't even have a clear idea necessarily of how all the different devices with this chip are going to perform, because Qualcomm allows their partners to run them at a wide range of different they don't use TDP, they use total, I don't care, a wide range of total power envelopes. I'm still pretty excited, just because a lot of what I do, I don't need to game. I need working sleep and wake. So if that's working great, then that's a W for me. I need great battery life, and I need to run a browser. So I am definitely going to start. I'm going to daily drive one for some extended period of time, and we're going to see how it goes. I'm pretty excited. Apparently, Qualcomm's exclusivity deal with Microsoft is coming near to its close, and MediaTek is interested in moving into the space. So it's not even just going to be Snapdragon whatever dash 100 whatever chips. We might also get some MediaTek chips. And if anyone from MediaTek is watching, you have an opportunity today to have a coherent naming scheme.
That might literally win over customers.
Reflect on that.
Yeah.
Coherency. It's good.
Yeah.
It's cash money.
It's Ohio Skibbity or something.
No, I was just like,
I genuinely don't know what those mean.
Have like a coherent cache.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't even deserve the bell. All right. What are we supposed to be doing, Dan?
Nice.
The muted bell. We can do another topic. We could do a couple merch messages.
You tell me.
Why don't we do a merch message?
Let's do a merch message. All right. Sure. So if you're not familiar with the show, merch messages are the way to chat with us. Don't do a super chat. Don't do a Twitch bit. Yes, I've seen some criticism of merch messages recently. Yes, the minimum is higher than those other methods.
Is it?
Yeah, because I think the cheapest thing is a $10 gift card, and you can send a super chat for like $1 or something like that. So you're right. The minimum is higher, but that's by design. Guys, we want you to get something for the money that you're spending, which means we actually have to like produce something and ship it to you and all of that stuff, because we don't want you just throwing money at your screen. And the reason that we don't want to take your couple of bucks is because if the difference between $2 and $10 is a lot for you, I don't want your money. For real. I actually don't want it. But if you want to shop on the store, go to LTTStore.com. In the cart. There'll be a box whenever we're live where you can leave a merch message. It can pop up down there on the bottom of the screen. Hey, thanks, Logan M. Oh, look at that. Dan replied to this one, so he might give you a reply directly. He might forward to someone who might know the answer to your question better, or he might curate your message for me and Luke.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. We've got someone in float plane complaining to CO says, but Linus, I want to burn my money. That's totally fine. Just burn more of it. And if you can't afford to burn that much of it, then that's totally fine. Don't burn any of it. I'm trying to be a good influence.
Yeah.
Good influence.
Yeah.
All right. Hit me, Dan. Show us how the merch messages work.
Sure thing. Hey, DLL. Linus, with the announcement of Fantasian Neo Dimension being released on multiple platforms, are you going to replay the game on different platforms with the updated features?
No.
It's easy.
I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the so for those not familiar, Fantasian is a kind of under the radar JRPG that involved I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation, but Hironobu Sakaguchi and Nobu Uematsu, but basically like OG Final Fantasy lead and OG Final Fantasy composer is kind of all you need to know. Really, really unique visual style. So the environments, instead of being rendered, oh man, this is horrible. Here we go. The environments, instead of being rendered, are handcrafted dioramas that were then captured, and then the rendered elements are
cool.
They are.
I like that art style.
It honestly is enjoyable just walking around in these environments. It's absolutely incredible. I do wish that they weren't so limited by the hardware that they were running on, because the game was an Apple Arcade exclusive for, it's been at least a couple of years now. And I was so excited for this game, and that I was like, on it, like I rarely am like, okay, when's this game coming? When's this game? And then it's like, oh, it's Apple Arcade exclusive. Oh, it's Apple Arcade exclusive basically forever. I think this is the first time in my life that I have bought a console just to play a game. I went and I bought an Apple TV something or other, Apple TV 4K or something like that. I went to Costco. I bought a stupid Apple TV so I could sit and play this game.
Is this the only thing you ever used it for?
It is the only thing I ever did with it. And it now is not even plugged in anymore. So I played through it, and I loved how delightfully old school it was, because it really was like a back to basics. The music's beautiful. The environments are beautiful. The combat is fun. It's got this dimension system where as you're walking around, you get random encounters, just like a classic JRPG, and there's kind of too many of them, just like a classic JRPG. But the main character has this device he carries with him that allows you to just queue up multiple random encounters. So as you walk, it's just like, you got a random...
You got one.
And the monsters just go into this like weird alternate dimension, and then you can fight them all at once. And
that's kind of nice, actually.
That makes some of the attacks that have like these long arcs or like these shoot through abilities and stuff like that make more sense, because instead of fighting 2 to 5 at a time, you're fighting like 20 to 40 at a time, and they like spawn in as you kill them and stuff. And I never really stopped enjoying the combat, which was pretty unusual for a JRPG, where a lot of the time it's just like, okay, well, I just max out flare and then I spend all my money on like ethers, and then who cares anymore? Like this is just tedious. At least the loading times are short because it's an old one on SNES or whatever. Like, oh man, playing on like the PlayStation 2 is painful sometimes. Yeah. Anyway, the point is that the combat never really got old. I will say that there are some things that were less delightfully retro. Like I wouldn't say that, I'm the kind of person that is gonna, boycott a studio over a less than modern representation of, say, for example, women. But I will say that even to me, I was kind of like, these women characters were written by men.
Yikes.
Like the level of, I get it. He's a studly guy. the protagonist character that I get to, play or insert myself into, the role-playing game, role. I get it. But the level of fawning here is, wow. And to be clear, it really isn't that different from the kind of media that, the other side will consume, right? Like, the whole point of Twilight is that kind of an ordinary young lady has these supernatural beings vying for her, right? Like, we get the same level of ridiculousness both ways, but it just felt a little much for me in this particular game. And they have a philosophy for boss fights that I think is both really cool and also kind of frustrating. So in a boss encounter, you kind of have to figure it out. You can't just go in and hit with your hardest attacks and watch the attack pattern. You really do need to change up your party a lot. Like, it's one of those games where you've got a big roster and you will use almost all of them in every boss fight, or you're pretty much doing it wrong.
That's cool.
But what I found really frustrating was that you often wouldn't have time to figure it out. It's one of those games where the only way to figure it out on a first playthrough is to read the strategy guide ahead of time. And some of the things you would need to do would involve not just making sure you have the right characters in your roster, but making sure that not only have you leveled them up suitably, like that specific one, but you've got like that specific branch of the tech tree. To its credit, you can respec your tech tree anytime you want, but there is a lot of micromanaging. That sounds
very tedious.
And not just tedious, but like, and the creative thinking is kind of cool, but the way that so many of the bosses can just 1 or 2 hit wipe you, or just like, 3 hit wombo combo you, no matter how many buffs you had, and how long the fights go. So I have no problem with it both ways. Okay, give me a long, drawn out, tedious boss fight. I'll fight a boss for an hour, no problem. Or I will fight a boss where there's like a gimmick, and once I figure it out, like, it's over. Don't give me both. I don't want a gimmick that I have to grind through for an hour.
Ooh.
Like, there were some that were really quite like that. And part of my problem is there's a part where your party gets split up, and there were 2 that you're like supposed to find first, but for whatever reason I didn't. I found a bunch of the other ones first. So they were way under leveled, and then I came up against a part in the game where there's a couple of boss fights that I really need them leveled up and teched up more. And it was really tedious to grind those levels because of the way the EXP curve works for what you're fighting and how much EXP you get. Anyway,
right.
I made it to the final of the like 3 or 4 stages or whatever it is of the final boss. I died at that point. I had already been fighting him for like an hour and a half or something like that, and I was just sitting here going like, I get it. I don't need to play the game again, but I also would recommend it if you do enjoy classic RPGs. I felt the game needed a little bit more playtesting. I think that part of it was just a philosophical difference. It's intended to be hard.
Do you think it might, this new version that came out might have addressed that?
It does. It has like a normal, which means normie difficulty mode. So I think it's coming out for Switch. And then there was a Steam DB entry for it a while back, but I actually don't know if they've made any announcements about it formally. So I don't know if it's actually coming to PC or not. I forget what the question was.
I'm assuming, I'm trying to look up the like YouTube announcement trailer. I'm assuming at the end it'll show the things it's launching on.
Are you going to replay the game on different platforms?
No. Yeah, that and like my saves on Apple Arcade, I guess. So if I wanted to New Game Plus it, I have no idea if I can export that. I doubt it.
Got another one for you here, Linus.
My Steam Deck doesn't work.
Here you go. You can have mine.
Luke Lab. There we go. There.
Steam Deck.
Oh, look at that.
Switch, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam.
Kind of crazy that they're doing this through Square Enix. Yeah. I think Square Enix is helping with the porting. Don't quote me on that. But my understanding was at some point there had been like some kind of falling out at some point. So that's, yeah, it's pretty wild. Life's too short for grudges, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a quote from Fallout New Vegas that I've always really liked. Oh, I can't switch it back. There we go.
Yeah, that's okay. We share. Here you go.
Right, where is it? No. I didn't want it on my screen. Lastly, waging war against good people is bad for the soul. This may not seem important to you now, but is the most important thing I've said. It's a good quote.
Yeah.
It's a good quote.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I should have my extended family play what was it? Fallout
New Vegas.
Fallout New Vegas. Yeah.
that would probably be kind of interesting.
Let me get on that.
Yeah. Oh boy. Are we doing another merch message?
I got another merch message.
Sure.
Here. Yeah, we'll do one. Hello guys, Anno Dev here.
Oh,
Hard at
welcome.
work making
Hello.
the next game look good.
nice.
Have you played the other titles before 1800? What was your favorite setting? Excited to get my hands on the screwdriver.
So,
Uh-oh.
do you remember? You watched the Ludwig Bro versus Bro, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if this made it into the cut for Bro versus Bro,
I
but
didn't hear anything about Anno in it.
no, not Anno related. It did make it into the episode of The Yard that I was on.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Of course, the Anno dev is watching now.
That makes sense. Nice.
Okay, sorry. Keep going.
So I think it made it into The Yard where I basically told him, look, I will play you any Halo game as long as it's Halo Combat Evolved or Halo Infinite. And he's like, why those two?
I was busy.
And I was
in the
like,
middle.
because I was busy for a long time in between.
Multiple kids in a company. Things happen.
I just had a lot, and I was in a very whirlwind relationship even before that. Like, I was pretty into Yvonne when I met her. I thought she was pretty darn cool. So I spent a
you seem
ton of.
pretty into her now.
I'm pretty into her.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. She's great. So I had a lot going on in between Halo Combat Evolved and Halo Infinite, and Anno.
Yeah.
Same story. I have played 1602 AD, which was the like westernized a further westernized name, the North Americanized name of Anno 1602, and then I have played Anno 1800, and that's it. I briefly pirated the like futuristic one, and I only played it for I just didn't really understand how not obvious the grid was. Like the building grid compared to 1602. Yeah. And I didn't have a lot of time in those days that I wasn't busy playing Left 4 Dead 2 with my wife. And so I kind of dropped it immediately. But I really enjoyed both of them, and I really enjoyed the differentness of both of them. 1602 had land battles. I don't know if you know that.
I did not.
They were kind of bad.
Interesting.
And
having played 1800, I don't even know that I would necessarily want that.
They weren't that practical because, like, taking territory by land was so expensive.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because you could build instantly, and there was no penalty for building, like, next to an incoming army. So you could just hoard a little bit of brick and cannon, and then when they make landfall...
Just build towers. Yeah.
And just... annihilate whatever's there. And then cannons, like siege cannons, were ridiculous. Like you would want to have like a handful of cavalry, but then you would just like roll your cannons slowly across, assuming that they can't tower you, and then they would like one hit anything. Oof. Like it was pretty broken. It was an RTS made by people who have read about an RTS in a magazine once. Like right. No offense.
Yeah. 1800 is fantastic. We both really like it.
But it was cool. It was cool and it was different. And then Anno 1800 didn't have that at all. And that was super cool. And that was super different. And I love both of them in their own ways. I absolutely love them. I forget what the question was.
Have you played a previous Anno? The only previous Anno that I had played was Anno 2070.
Okay.
And I did not enjoy.
Part of Anno though is having someone to kind of hold your hand.
I think so.
Through the figuring out the economy and figuring out trading.
I played 2070 and I was like, this is a weird game and I don't like it and I'm never going to go back to Anno again. And then Linus was like, play 1800 with me or something. And then I tried it and I was like, this game's actually really sick. And now I even play it single player every once in a blue moon.
Yeah, it's so good. And man, the soundtrack for 1602 absolutely slaps.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I'm genuinely very excited for 117. The theme, fantastic. Having played 1800, the theme of Rome, I think is going to be amazing.
Yeah,
I'm very excited, and having like actually given 1800 a proper shot. Because I bet you when I played 2070, I didn't really play for very long.
Yeah.
I probably got it on like a Humble Bundle or something. And
Exactly.
was like trying it out and didn't really give it a fair shake because I actually went back to it recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Just to give it a shot again, or
just
what?
Because I was wondering, like, it's funny that this question came up because I was wondering what like my more recent thoughts would be about this game if I gave it an actual fair shake. And I went back to it, and it's so old at this point that like it was a little rough. It's from 2011.
The quality of life has improved a fair bit in 13 years.
But I bet you if I gave it enough time, I probably would have enjoyed that game. But the concept of how it works was similar enough to 1800 that I was like, 1800 is just a better game. I might as well go play that because it's not from 2011.
Yeah.
Like it's not really a dig on 2070. It's just I didn't feel a need to play that game. It had no nostalgia factor for me. But I was like, okay, this was a good game. I just didn't give it enough of a chance.
Oh, more topics. Sure, we can do more topics, Dan. Nvidia becomes the most valuable company for a few days, immediately tries to strong-arm their enterprise customers.
Totally sounds right.
On Tuesday, Nvidia became the world's most valuable company, surpassing Microsoft in market cap as it passed Apple a week before. Oh man, Riley puts in a little note here. Wow, I guess gamers must really be picking up a lot of GPUs. Sorry. Yeah, not even a little. Perhaps in hopes that what goes up could just keep going up, Nvidia is reportedly trying to pressure partners like Dell, HP Enterprise, and Supermicro into buying complete server rack designs from Nvidia, starting with the GB200. This would deprive these companies of the margin they usually make from designing their own racks.
We've heard that story before.
And that is why I don't actually know this, but what I do know is Nvidia's manner of behaving. And that is why EVGA is no longer in the GPU business, because Nvidia slowly, carefully, generation by generation, extracts more and more of the total value of every dollar coming in to anything that has anything to do with one of their solutions until there is absolutely nothing left for their so-called partners. And I've told them this to their faces, and they even have sponsored us recently. I've told them they are the cheapest f***ing bastards that I have ever worked with.
Yeah,
because they've been very rich for a very long time. It's just reached a whole new level lately. But I don't know how difficult they can be sometimes in what I would consider to be partnership in a partnership relationship.
Yeah.
It can be very challenging, and don't imagine for a second that they're the only ones. I think I just rag on them a lot because the disparity between how well they do and how hard it is to sort of.
It seems like the better they do, the more they want to be difficult to work with.
And I don't think it's wanting to be difficult to work with. I think it's just thinking, and in many cases rightly, that if you want to play with our ball, you're going to have to play with our rules. I get it. It's not like it's not an attitude that people can kind of understand. It's like, I'm sorry, you want to build NVIDIA GPUs? Well, like, we have all the NVIDIA GPUs, and if you don't like the way that we do GPU partnership, you're more than welcome to go make ARC. Right? Like, it's
yeah.
They technically have competitors, but they don't really.
I'm sure it was going on before this. What felt like the beginning of the end to me was when they started controlling how brands could do box art. That was like a big sign of like, oh boy.
That was a public-facing sign.
Yes.
In the background, all kinds of other things were going on. I remember when Hard OCP back in the day blew the lid off of Project Greenlight, where they were also controlling how their board partners could build the cards and validate the cards themselves.
That's
one of the ones that drives me absolutely crazy. Do you know why the Framework 16 has an AMD GPU?
I've heard the story, but I don't remember.
I don't know this for sure because you know what? To Framework's credit, they don't tell me anything. And I don't mean that. No, I mean that in a good way.
No, I was going to say, like, didn't you basically ask for that?
I guess.
Sort of like indirectly.
Whether I did or not, though, it wouldn't have mattered. Me asking for that was just a demonstration that we're aligned. But I was chatting with the CEO at Computex. And I was just ribbing him about something. I can't remember what it was, but basically, I don't even know what my shares are worth. And so he was joking. I was joking with him. I was like, you don't tell me anything, man. I don't even know how much my shares are worth. He's like, oh, I can actually get you that. I'm like, nah, forget it. It actually doesn't matter. But the point is that anything that is bound by NDA, he intentionally keeps me kind of at arm's reach.
Oh, good.
Even compared to other investors in some cases, because he recognizes that I'm a member of the media. And even though he trusts me, he recognizes that his agreement is that he won't talk to a member of the media about this. So it doesn't matter if I also happen to be an investor. He's just not going to do it. And I respect that. I actually really like that because, someone who is trustworthy, but tells you something, it's not trustworthy, right?
Yeah.
So I legitimately do not know the answer to this question. But what I do know is a lot of things about NVIDIA. What I do know is a lot of things about how other partners have found working with NVIDIA. So what I will tell you is that my best guess, this is a very educated guess. My best guess is that the reason that the Framework 16 has an AMD GPU and has no NVIDIA options whatsoever is that NVIDIA won't allow their partners to build a non-standard form factor GPU. They don't care if the engineering is fine. They don't care if a customer wants it. They don't care if there's more repairability and sustainability in this approach where you don't have to swap out your entire main board if something goes wrong with a GPU memory die. They don't care about any of that. What they care about is controlling the ecosystem. And they have decided they've been trying to kill MXM for so many generations. So that's the old kind of standard mobile GPU form factor that manufacturers like Clevo have been relying on for the big fat desktop replacement machines for many, many years. But they've been trying to kill that forever. And imagining for a second that NVIDIA is going to allow some new form factor to pop up is just, it's one of the things that I told Framework when I first heard early rumors that they were working on a gaming laptop. It's one of the first things I told Framework is look, how are you guys going to do a GPU? I don't understand this product. And as it turns out, they managed to get AMD to play ball, or at least one of AMD's partners to just YOLO it and do it. But NVIDIA's partners don't dare step out of line. And it's one of those things where think about if you met a couple, okay? You don't have to see what he does to notice that his wife never speaks.
Yeah. Or flinches at times, little things like there's a lot of signs that can tell you kind of what's going on.
So the fact that none of NVIDIA's partners say anything doesn't mean that everything's going great.
Yeah.
To be clear,
that's a good point.
To be clear, our new contact there has been great. We're back. We're back engaged with NVIDIA right now.
Just like every company, there's really good people there, and there's really not.
But it's clear
it scales a lot.
It's clear the relationship NVIDIA cares most about is the one with their shareholders. And you know what? To NVIDIA's credit, they're doing real great by their sharonholders right now.
Oh yeah,
they're. I can't even. Man, that stock split, dude. At the rate it's continued to go up, I'm kind of sitting here going, are we going to get above $1,000 again? what is going on here? Like, I don't own any Nvidia, but I sure wish I did at this point. Good Lord.
Hopefully not for long.
Yeah, and we'll see if they tolerate me, saying this about them. Sometimes I wonder, because I know Jensen knows who I am. Like, we've met before and stuff like that. Sometimes I wonder, does he hear me talk about, Nvidia's tight grip on its partnerships, and does he go, oh, Linus is being mean to me? Or does he go, Linus gets it, that's how I do things?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I genuinely suspect it's that.
It's not like he shies away from being like a strong leader.
And you know what? In a weird way, I kind of, if he does own it like that, I do respect that slightly more. Because it is worse, in my opinion, if you're like, no, I don't. And then you just do it anyways.
Okay,
so if he owned it, like, that's still bad.
I agree with you that hypocrisy makes any crime worse.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you.
Yeah.
Hypocrisy makes any transgression much, much worse.
But if he did watch this and was like, yeah.
Yep, that's how we do it. That's how we've crushed it since I founded this company, and that's how we're going to keep crushing it. We are, one of the world's most valuable companies. We have like one product. Okay, they don't have one product, but they have GPUs and GPU accessories, essentially, right?
Yeah.
That Mellanox acquisition, man, when I saw it, I was like, that seems pretty smart. Data center, communicate. I didn't know where they were going with it.
Huge.
That was so much bigger than I realized.
Yeah.
Dude.
He's got that vision.
So when does Nvidia just like acquire AMD? There's no way, antitrust wise, there's no way they could do it.
Not even sort of.
But like Nvidia plus AMD.
I feel like that's something that they super don't want to do.
Oh no, I don't think they want to do it. They don't actually want to be a monopoly, but I'm imagining what a powerhouse that could be. Not that, maybe the x86 license just doesn't matter anymore though. Because that's the kind of thing that you used to kind of like think about 5 years ago. It's like, oh yeah, man, like what if Nvidia
had an x86 license?
Had an x86 license? Because like,
how many years you think x86 has left on it?
Did you see Framework?
I'm so excited.
Has a RISC-V board.
Is it in the dock?
I'm actually not sure. We could talk about that.
I actually want to buy one. I think it's more exciting to me than like a Switch is.
Really?
It's so cool.
So I asked Framework because I like just asking questions I know I'm not going to get an answer to. I asked Framework at Computex if they had anything coming with the new Qualcomm chips, because on the one hand, it's obviously a turning point for the PC industry. We're turning in some direction here, and I continue to be pretty jazzed about it. There's going to be some early growing pains for sure, but I'm legitimately excited about Windows on ARM. So I asked them, I was like, hey, are you guys going to have Qualcomm Snapdragon X chips? And they were like, Linus, I can't answer that. And I was like, all right. But what they especially didn't answer was that they were just like, leapfrogging, going like, oh man, ARM, old news. We're going to have a RISC-V board.
So sick. We have a topic in the doc for this Framework RISC-V board.
Let's just do it now then.
And another RISC-V laptop too. A company called Deep Computing is creating a Framework Laptop 13 mainboard powered by a Star 5 JH7110 RISC-V processor. It's a developer-focused product aimed at making tinkering with RISC-V more accessible. Still, it's one of the first instances of a consumer-focused product built with the RISC-V, which is why I in particular am excited, which, FYI, is a fully open architecture so anyone can create their own processors without paying a fee.
So cool!
So cool. But look, there's another one too. The SiSpeed LM4A compute module is a small board with a T-head TH1520 RISC-V processor.
I still like it better than Qualcomm's naming scheme.
Yeah, these are both somehow better.
T-head.
T-head is rough.
Like, what are you, British?
Oh no. Oh man. Anyways, you can get that T-head processor in there, spiffing Brit in a computer, that can be used to power various PC form factors like the Lychee Book 4a. The discussion question is, I lack any context necessary to understand the capabilities of these processors, but I'm sure they're pretty neat. It's very cool that they're showing up in consumer products. That is really cool.
And I'm way more excited about them now that I've seen the accelerated trajectory of emulation.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously RISC-V is not as simple as just taking your x86 code or your ARM code and just plopping it on there. Especially things as complex as operating systems and games. It's gonna be slow. But if we look at the accelerating rate of change. So the like accelerating acceleration or whatever. The point is that
no, that makes accelerating rate of change.
Yeah, no, I know it makes sense, but it's just like
yeah.
If we look at the accelerating rate of change in development of emulation and in the portability of software, and by portability I mean from platform to platform, that really. We have the iPhone to thank for. Think about it.
Yeah, I think I see it. It's weird.
It's a weird thing to think about. But if it wasn't for the iPhone, would we have ever gotten a big enough platform that real developers, like big developers, would have made TeamViewer and Adobe Creative Apps and all these things.
Even like being, you can SSH into servers from your phone.
Would
like
there have? You could do that. You could do that on a BlackBerry or whatever. But the difference is that what Apple built was momentum. They built an install base that led to very significant development being done for ARM. That led to very significant work being done on porting applications from x86 to ARM. So obviously, this is not a solo effort thing. But if we were going to look at if we were trying to find a turning point, back to turning points again, man, the iPhone was such a moment. Freaking incredible. And so looking at how long that transition took until we went, oh yeah, these ARM chips are great. Why don't we just, put them in a laptop? And looking at, how far away we are probably from someone being like, oh, well, if it's great in a laptop, why don't we just throw it in a small form factor desktop? And then I think you can kind of see where we're going from there, right? Looking at how long that took, and then looking at the momentum RISC-V has right now, we got a game running on like a random RISC-V motherboard with like an AMD GPU in it running Linux, right?
I did not know
that.
Yeah,
Tanner got like Trucker Simulator running or something like that.
That's so sick.
And it looked like butt.
Who cares?
Yeah, it was terrible.
It's so cool.
But the fact that it ran.
Yeah.
It's happening right now, man. It's exciting. And I think it's super cool that framework investment disclosure, not that I haven't talked about it plenty on the show so far today. I think it's super cool that framework is ending up, as part of this transition. I mean, they didn't make the board themselves, but like they're a platform. I guess if you want to make,
they're an enabler.
If you were going to make a motherboard thinking, oh yeah, I need a mother, I'm going to make a laptop motherboard. And I want there to be some hope that there's an install base for people to put it in.
Yeah.
Who else but framework?
Yeah.
Maybe I did think of that, but it's not something I've thought about in a long time. The idea of third parties creating motherboards for framework laptops. I wonder how hard it would be to do. This is interesting. That someone like an Asus or like a Zotac or whatever, they do board designs like all the time for GPUs that just never make it to market because Nvidia won't greenlight it or, whatever else. I wonder how hard it would be to make like a 4060 mobile GPU, like to just get one made. Like if I just bought a 4060 like desktop card, or if I bought like a 4060 laptop, like I actually wonder, obviously I couldn't do it myself. You need like design docs and stuff like that. But I wonder if I could find someone who would stealthily...
There's no way it would be affordable, but that would be a banger video.
How crazy would that be if I was like, there is no reason Nvidia couldn't make a framework GPU, and we like went to someone and like quietly made one, and we're just like look, I'm sworn to secrecy. I won't tell Nvidia who made it for me.
I wonder if you could work with strange parts.
Probably we wouldn't need to. Not that I wouldn't be down. Love Scotty.
Yeah.
But the way to get it done would probably just be to go to a partner directly, and we know the major board guys. Like, it should be fine. That'd be so cool.
That'd be pretty sick.
Noki says, I mean, it is possible. Yeah, exactly. Most of the board is just a bunch of power regulators and mini caps and resistors.
Yeah, we
and
know
stuff.
we know it's possible.
Like, yeah, 100% possible.
It's just, not exactly within our capabilities. I'm assuming, at least. Who knows these days?
It's not.
Yeah. We got some fancy people here, though.
Oh, Kingpin's apparently at PNY now?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Speaking of people who know a lot about board design. Cool. All right. What's up next?
Let's see. You could do more topics.
Still
We've
doing
got
topics?
some
Sure.
time for sponsors.
Oh, we
later.
should do sponsors. Yes,
Okay,
let's do sponsors.
Let's do sponsors.
The show is brought to you today by Squarespace. Have you been trying to Bob Ross your business's website, but it just ends up looking like a phishing site? Dan's Bakery. Click to view. $75. Is that a potato or bread? I really can't tell.
It's bread,
That's
but
bread.
It took me a moment.
Okay, Squarespace is here to level up your online presence. With Squarespace Blueprint, a tool designed to give you great layouts and styling options, your website will be optimized for every device. They also have integrated optimized SEO tools, so you show up more often to more people, and Squarespace makes shopping on your site easy. They accept credit cards, PayPal, and even Apple Pay to give your customers flexibility. Of course, we use Squarespace to build our own websites too. Oh, I'm so sad. I said websites. LinusMediaGroup.com, and remember our other one that we use Squarespace for?
Yeah.
LTXexpo.com. Yeah, that one's dead. Anyway, you'll always be a happy little tree because they have a 24/7 support team to help you out. Oh, is it actually up? Oh, I mean, sort of.
Never mind.
So start building your website today and get 10% off your first purchase by visiting squarespace.com/WAN. Hey, thanks Squarespace for sponsoring the WAN Show. You know who else sponsors the WAN Show? MSI. Feeling burnt by the sun outside? Stay indoors and game on a new MSI monitor with OLED Care 2.0, designed to help prevent screen burn-in. Their new MSI Mag 341 CQP QD-OLED, which I still think is a better name than those Snapdragon chips, is great for having the ultimate gaming experience. This next-gen QD OLED panel delivers beautiful image quality with fast 0.03 millisecond gray-to-gray response times and a 175 hertz refresh rate. It's got HDMI 2.1 with the full 48 gigabit per second for console gamers, perfect for next-gen consoles, and the factory pre-calibrates the monitor so you get precise color accuracy and buttery smooth color transitions. You can also, that actually doesn't have to do, color trend. Oh, no, I get it. Yeah, well, that's more to do with the lookup table. It doesn't matter. The point is, you can also use their gaming intelligence app to customize your perfect settings for gaming, and they have a 3-year burn-in warranty. Now, if only sunscreen lasted that long. Check it out at the link in the video description. Finally, the show is brought to you by Control D. This is you wandering around the wild internet. You'd never know what you're going to have thrown at you. Our sponsor, Control D, is here to steer all the threats away from you. Control D offers strong security and privacy features as a cloud-based DNS service. What is DNS? I'm glad you asked. It stands for Domain Name System. I thought it was service. Is it service or system? Some of my talking points today are pretty broken. I'm not going to lie.
System.
Okay, it is system. Wow, that's great. Anyway, it's a tool that turns.
Not gonna lie, I really thought it was service.
I thought it was a service too. It turns website names into IP addresses so computers can find them easily. And with Control D, you can see or avoid anything. You can set what you want to see or avoid on the internet. It's basically a safeguard for your whole network. Control D also has 18 in-house maintained block lists for your security needs. If that's not enough, you can choose from over 900 individually controllable websites, services, apps, and platforms to block, allow, or redirect via proxy. And if you need help with installation on your device or router, they have software available that makes setup a breeze. So take control of your DNS with Control D at the link down below. All right.
Okay.
Man, I'm not gonna. We moved. I'm not blaming anybody. We moved the show up by like 6.5 hours or something like that today, so people didn't have their normal amount of time to prep things. But yeah, I think the sponsor talking points did not get the usual once over.
Got some merch messages for you.
Sure, hit me, Dan.
Actually, this one's for Luke, not you.
Oh, fine.
Hello, WAN.dll. Question for Luke. Any fun stories from Open Sauce? Get a chance to meet up with NerdForge or other creators? I drive by the Cow Palace every day, but sadly couldn't make it myself.
Cow Palace was cool. That was a good venue for it. I did meet up with NerdForge. They were awesome. I had never met them before.
Oh, so cool.
I wasn't in office when they did the thing.
So cool.
Very cool people.
Yep.
Was very happy I got to meet up with them. I got to meet up with a bunch of other creators as well, which was fantastic. Probably the coolest individual moment. Did you see the Yard Boys? Yeah, I got to meet them for the first time too, which was cool. The coolest moment was when Adam Savage said his thing when he saw the screwdriver, the stubby. So we brought the Sebastian and Tynan brought the 3X stubby.
They're from the Creator Warehouse engineering team.
Yeah. And Adam Savage was very happy to see it, which was cool.
Sebastian was telling me, he's like, it was pretty cool. Just like,
no, you didn't.
Yeah. And
you didn't.
Yeah.
It's cool. There's a whole circle of people, and he spotted it like through the circle and then got all excited about
Apparently
it.
he loves the screwdriver, which I'm finding out for the first time, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Massive.
Like, very much so.
Massive kudos to the team.
Yeah. I was thinking like, okay, it's because my understanding of why like I form lines at LTX is just really hardcore fans go to LTX and really hardcore fans watch WAN Show. Because I don't really show up in much other content and haven't for years.
No, but there also are old, like, kind of evergreen videos with you that have millions and millions of views. And there's some residual, like, oh, yeah, that guy.
I went to Open Sauce and was like, I'm going to do a couple panels and it'll be cool to, like, go see the show. No one's really going to know who I am. I made it one booth onto the floor and had a line for 3.5 hours. And then someone had to pull me out of it so I could go to a panel. And then that happened again.
Nice.
I got to see 2 booths because it was the first booth I saw one time and then the first booth I saw another time. And then the whole rest of the show was taken over.
The thing is, like, that crowd, though, right? Like, low key, you and your team run one of the, I mean, maybe not top 10, but certainly top 100, like, video platforms, like, on the internet. Floatplane.
There was a surprising amount of people that when, you like maybe ask a couple questions and stuff when you say hi, that we're talking about like the engineering behind Floatplane.
Yeah, which
was interesting.
I don't mean by necessarily. Crowd. Yeah, I don't necessarily mean by number of creators on it, because we aren't top anything for that. We only have a small handful on there. Yeah. But in terms of bandwidth served,
it's actually decently high.
Floatplane is like a decent sized platform.
Yeah.
And you and your team are like, what, 10 people at this point? Barely.
On Floatplane, a lot less than that.
Oh yeah, that's true. The ones that actually are dedicated to Floatplane, it's more like 5. So
yeah. And one of them's only like halftime.
So yeah, I mean that's something that this crowd would think is super cool.
Yeah, we had a lot of conversations about that too. I had a couple people that guessed how many people were on the team, and they were like 10x the amount that it actually is.
It's good. It's an awesome team.
It was a very, very cool event. Speaking of the panels, are the recordings anywhere? I think so, actually. I think you might have to pay to access them. I'm not sure. But yeah, William Osmond and his team did a fantastic job. As far as I know, this is only the second one, and it doesn't show. You'd have no idea this was the second one. It feels like a fairly mature show.
Yeah, we should have them do our shows.
Maybe. There was some takeaways in regards to, like, if we do another LTX again, there's things that they did that were really good. There's also things about LTX that I think might have been a little bit better. There was positives and negatives all over the place, but Open Sauce was a really, really cool event. Not only did they have the main stage and the secondary stage, so they had a lot of panels that you'd be able to go to, but the Creator Museum was such a cool idea where, like, I'm sure someone on the team organizing the event understands that a lot of the people that would be interested in going to that event are creators and makers of some form. Whether they are creators and makers that post YouTube videos or not, who knows, but they're creators and makers. So they had this idea of the Creator Museum, and you could bring pieces to just show people. And I believe the Creator Museum was not a paid placement thing.
That's super cool.
It's like, I just have something neat. I want people to be able to see it. You could just have a little area. And they had tons of stuff in there that was super interesting that I didn't really get to see. But I heard through the grapevine there were super interesting things. Like one was a shrimp that fries rice. So it used like a camera to track the shrimp,
like an actual shrimp,
around a fake submerged little kitchen, and then it would, like, I think, recreate the movement in like a wok thingy that's frying the, like, just hilarious maker stuff. I don't know. Really cool event. Tons of really cool things to see. If you follow maker creators or tech creators or whatever on YouTube, a lot of their stuff was there. Mm-hmm. People would bring, like, these cool projects that they spent, like, months making, and they would just bring it, and you can touch it and use it, and in some cases, like, ride around on it, because there was, like, rideables that people had just made.
So cool.
Super, super cool. Really, really cool event. So I don't know. If you're interested, go next year. It's fantastic. Hopefully I'll be there, and I'm trying to convince some more people on the team to come down. So yeah.
I'm taking vacation next year.
Nice.
I'm definitely going.
It was really, you would really like it.
I've been following basically everyone there for forever. They're amazing.
It was great.
Next up, this is a question I've been getting a lot, actually. Do you plan on bringing back the older water bottle colors, which previously existed?
I have no idea. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really know why we don't have any water bottles in stock. I think it was a whole, like, we were trying to get our stocking strategy sort of figured out, and then we, like, didn't place orders for a bit, and then maybe fulfillment was slow. I actually have no idea what's going on with water bottles. You might have to forward that one.
We do have some.
Just reducing some of the colors.
Do we?
Yes, we have some.
Oh, wow. We have very few colors.
Yeah,
I believe the colors were limited
down, but we have the classic, we have the stealth, we have the black and gold, we have the white and black, and then we're sold out on the Atlantic blue.
Okay.
But we used to have, like, a ton of colors.
Whack ton of colors.
Do we also
just buy one of the capacitor ones? These ones are so fun. These don't sell. Like, they do, but, like, at a trickle. The capacitor, it's a big capacitor. It looks like a big giant capacitor on your desk. How do you not love it? Anyway. Do we have any, like, store news or anything like that?
Oh, yes. There's something under your desk.
Oh my God, we're finally launching this? How did I not talk about this in, like, the first 5 minutes of the show?
It's under your desk.
Are you taking it home?
I already have one.
That makes sense.
Because of course I do.
I'm getting a cat on Monday.
Oh.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, congrats.
Right. You're like...
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Vague and ambiguous.
I don't know. I want to say...
It's vague and ambiguous. Don't continue.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah,
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we're good.
It's fine. Just fine.
Yeah.
This is it. The Retro Monitor Pet Cave! How cute is it? Look how cute it is. It's a little CRT monitor that's a little cat or dog bed, and Lloyd made it look like a little monitor. Look, it has little ports and it has a little C13 power connector, and I forget what this barcode does.
Yeah, can you scan that?
Probably rickrolls you. I don't know.
Oh.
And then on the inside, it's static.
Oh,
It's static fuzz.
Okay.
And it's got a little dial interface.
That's pretty good.
It's a little CRT monitor. And
It looks very comfy.
and thoughtfully designed as always.
Oh, smart.
So the pillow is removable in case your cat, is
It looks like a Minecraft shirt.
incontinent. And also this side, okay, hold on, touch it. No, not with your hand.
What?
No.
My face?
Oh, with his hand. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and touch it. Yeah. Is it soft?
That is soft.
It's soft. Okay. Now touch this side.
That is less soft.
Yeah. Okay.
But I feel like if I
But that's by design.
deposited liquid on it, it would go well.
Yeah, well, no. It's not waterproof. But what it is less hair.
Nice. Okay. So depending on what type of cat or
one of
dog
those
you might want to
soft.
flip it.
Yeah, so you can flip it depending on what's better for kind of your situation, and it has a convenient zipper to pull out the pillow, and you can wash this separately, or if it comes down to it, you could just restuff it with something else if
Which it might.
which might happen. It has little grippy dots on the bottom, but kind of try and catch the light here. Yeah, it has little grippy dots on the bottom, so it won't accidentally scoot around. And you know why this took so long? Packing, figuring out how to fold it down.
Yeah,
this
can
is
you
what
collapse it?
Yeah, it comes collapsed. So this is what it looks like right when you pop it out. And if you want, you can steam it and you can get it looking real clean.
Right.
But the initial packing solution from these guys, it would come out looking just terrible. And we wanted the unboxing experience to be a lot better.
Pretty good, yeah.
So figuring out how to nail this down was everything. Everything takes us 3 times longer because we're obsessive. How sturdy is the top? Oh, guys, it's collapsible. Like a cat is not sitting on the top. It's for going inside.
They'd probably enjoy jumping on it and getting enveloped.
Maybe
not the first time.
Yeah, definitely not the first time. Anyway, it's $49.99.
Hey, my birds could stand on it and it wouldn't collapse.
And I guess I covered all of the other talking points on my own. Get your pet off your PC setup and into their own is apparently our tagline for this thing. Let's go ahead and... how cute is that picture?
That is ridiculously cute.
I love it. There you go. So we'll go through the product pictures. Retro monitor pet cave. Our pictures are getting a lot better.
Yes.
That's nice. Great job, team. Oh my God, there's a kitty in there. So cute. Oh, look at that. We got all that. Oh, man, our photo game is getting so much better, dude.
Yeah.
So much better. Why aren't there more cute cat pictures, though? Okay, sorry. I think there's an interesting.
There's also more news.
Yeah, this is not LTT Store related, but we are doing a garage sale for the first time in 9 years, 8 years.
Can I go buy stuff?
I don't see why not. Nice. July 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the LTT Labs building. We have 400 plus items. We have keyboards, mice, headset, speakers, computer components. LTTstore.com items will not be available for purchase. We do not have inventory of that here. This is just a garage sale of just random stuff we need to get rid of. You must park on the street somewhere or Uber or something. We don't have parking for you. So you'll have to go on Google Maps.
And the parking on the street is rough.
It's terrible.
Be prepared to walk.
Be prepared to hike.
Yes.
And it is credit debit only. We are not going to be taking cash. So there you go, guys. Garage sale. It's coming. July 6th. Yeah, I guess staff can buy stuff. It's probably going to be like reverse auction style, kind of like we did it last time. So you know how an auction you start low and just go up high? So in this case, I think we'll probably start with, I'm probably going to be like running a lot of it. And I'll just be like, I don't know. I think this is worth $20.
Oh, I can also just help do that if you want.
12. Who wants it?
What would be kind of funny is if I could help you run that, and then if prices of certain things get low enough, I'll just be like, well, I'll take it.
Just leave your credit card with Yvonne.
Yeah.
Just swipe it. I'm putting this one in the back.
All right. That's fine.
People are asking, is it worth flying here? No. I mean, no.
The amount you're going to spend on the plane ticket is going to make the discount on the items.
Yeah, just buy yourself a stick of RAM.
Yeah.
Like, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good, buddy.
That's not how you bargain shop.
Yeah.
Let me fly somewhere and get a hotel and rent a car. Okay.
I mean, people like do travel for shopping sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
but not for like that.
I'm just saying it's totally a thing. I don't know. I get a kick out of it when people are buying like commodity stuff. They're like, oh yeah, I'm buying jewelry. I'm like, the price of gold is the same everywhere in the world. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah.
I got a couple more for you here, unless you want to save them for later. Up to you.
Yeah, let's save them for later. I think
Sounds good.
I think we might sell a few Retro Monitor pet caves now. Yeah, they were not registering on the most popular item list, and now they are number 3, soon to be number 2 with the way that things are going. So let's go Retro Monitor Pet Cave. Let's go. All right, topic. What do you want to do?
I think our last title topic, main topic, call out topic, whatever. Softbank developing real-time emotion canceling tech.
Okay, this is the smartest use of AI that I have seen yet.
Yeah, I think people are going to work around it, but yeah, actually.
How will they work around it?
I'll get to that.
All right, fine.
Only sort of working around it. Japanese tech giant Softbank has announced it is working on emotion-canceling AI technology that alters the tone and pitch of angry customers in real time, making them sound calmer when they call customer service representatives. The project is designed to protect workers from customer harassment, a pressing issue in many places, but one that's referred to specifically in Japan as kasuhara, which just sounds like customer harassment, but not English. But it doesn't change the words being spoken. And for service reps being told to de-escalate angry customers, not getting the full context of what's being said might make that job harder. One Redditor argues this is treating a symptom rather than the cause, likening it to a Foxconn factory in China responding to distraught workers throwing themselves out of windows by surrounding the building with nets back in 2017. I don't think it's that. I think that's a pretty drastic comparison.
Yeah, I don't agree with that comparison at all. I think that some people are just jerks.
Yep.
And if you could just make a customer service agent's day a little bit less unpleasant.
That sounds great.
I don't think you're going to be missing any context you would need.
Oh no. I'm worried. The only thing I'm worried about is that if the knowledge of this thing existing becomes widespread, people are going to become more colorful with their language to compensate.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I think especially when people are angry, they're going to talk in if anything, a more natural way.
They start getting into like almost autopilot-y rage mode.
Yeah. Like
right.
I actually strongly disagree. I think that this is a win. I think that.
Oh no, I think it's a good thing. I'm just worried people are going to try to work around it and use worse language. But overall, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't think the average person calling a customer support line and yelling at someone is going to be that smart.
Like coherent enough to do that.
I have this theory that a lot of anger is actually not anger. It's just misunderstanding. I think that if we understood a situation, there are many times when it wouldn't be as necessary to be angry about it. Think about the average customer support ticket, though, Luke. I'm not talking about being angry about inequality in the world.
In the realm of customer support.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, just the kind of like...
The stuff I've had to see Joe deal with.
Exactly, right? And
to be clear, the vast majority of tickets he deals with are fine.
Of course.
It's just every once in a while stuff that's just like, what is going on?
So if we think about, when I talk about anger, I don't mean like a deeply held belief in fairness that the world is not, living up to. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like, just my phone's glass is broken. Maybe if I didn't do that to it, my glass might not be broken, right?
He actually hucked it at the ground.
Phonies.
That was real.
Like I'm talking about that kind of just like irrational anger, right? Where realistically, if you stopped and slowed down and thought, okay, what is the cause of this situation I'm finding myself in? It might be that I'm not careful. It might be that I need to do a little bit of introspection.
Or I also think a lot of the time that if you're calling in and raging at customer support, which is not okay for a variety of reasons, I'm sort of almost hoping that a lot of the rest of your day was like really bad, and it's just being, this is like a venting situation, which is not how you should do that, but like, yeah. So
anyway, I think
tantrums, yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of anger is just being kind of dumb. Or like emotionally.
What about when you're yelling at the YouTube people on the phone then?
Which YouTube people?
Haven't you done that before?
Yell at them?
Yeah. Or write angry emails, I guess.
I mean, I've certainly written irate emails. But a lot of the time, the thing that I am frustrated by is pretty justifiable.
Okay.
Like,
so when,
I don't know,
when you write irate emails, it's not
here. Well, do you want me
dumb?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I never said I'm not dumb sometimes.
Okay.
I wear that. Oh, dude, I wear that on my sleeve. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect. But I think there's a big difference between the kind of temper tantrums that this is designed to mitigate versus writing an email.
Yeah.
So I don't think it changes the point that like that sort of just, not understanding, because a lot of the time what people are mad about is they don't understand that paying for express shipping doesn't mean that someone was standing there like looking at the incoming orders and being like, okay, there it is,
and like 3 in the morning
throwing it in a box at 3 a.m. on a Saturday. Right? It just means that once we hand it to the shipper, it will go that leg of the journey faster, right?
Faster.
We would run into that at NCIX all the time. People would be like, express shipping says 2 to 4 days. It's been 5 days. We're like, you place it, sir.
You place it at 11:59
on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, we don't work weekends. Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you, sir.
Please calm down.
Right.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Do you think it's gonna run all the time, or do you think it's gonna detect?
Oh, I think it would almost certainly detect.
Because I think if it ran all the time, that would kind of suck. Because if you're just listening to like monotone robot voice,
no, I think it
literally
would,
all day.
If it works well, it would detect
and then kick in.
Yeah, and people are saying like people will change their language to be more colorful to make their point. I think there's no reason it couldn't detect that too.
Oh sure,
yeah. Just like
bleep. It says it's not going to change the words. Oh, it could bleep though.
It could bleep swear words. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think this will create like almost more fun water cooler talk.
I think it would be pretty entertaining to be the team in charge of creating the list of words and phrases that are going to be bleeped. It's like, man, I'm so.
Wow, that's really interesting.
We're allowed to discuss this right now?
I love the water cooler talk idea of just like, man, I had the craziest emotion canceled today. The guy was going off.
Oh, I love that. Pretty sure there's already a good dictionary for that. Says Omega Total. Yeah, urbandictionary.com. Everyone knows urbandictionary.com. Man, I had a Zoomer say sweet to me the other day.
Is that coming back?
I don't think so. I think it's just his like second or third language.
I
So he
would like
probably
that
learned to
if that
speak
came
English
back.
from millennials.
Y2K fashion is coming back.
But it just like it blew my mind because I was like, I'll pick you up in front of the building, and they were like, sweet.
Sweet. I like sweet.
Aren't you like 10, 12 years younger than me? What? Sorry.
Have you seen that?
Y2K fashion?
Yeah. So there's
What's Y2K
this like
fashion again?
fashion from the year 2000.
Oh, when you say Y2K, I assume you mean like the Y2K bug.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. But
Nobody called the year. No, nobody refers to the year 2000 as Y2K.
That's fair.
Come on. 2000s fashion then. Okay,
There's
sure.
this like, I don't know what it was on because Emma showed me.
I know low-rise jeans are back.
Probably Instagram or something. But there's this girl talking to her mom about modern fashion trends, and she mentions Y2K fashion, and her mom's like, wait, what is that? And she's like, oh, you wouldn't know, it's like too new. And you can tell like it definitely wasn't a staged video, because the daughter's like mildly annoyed at the conversation because she's like, oh my goodness, like you wouldn't know.
You know what's hilarious is fashion's always been cyclical to a degree.
I thought it wouldn't be anymore because of the internet.
But hold on. Look at how the cycle of everything is speeding up.
It's speeding
The
up.
news cycle is faster. The meme cycle is faster. Is the fashion cycle so
Goes
fast
faster.
now that instead of coming back around to, what was cool right before or after your mom, you're actually coming right back around to like what was cool
for your mom
when your mom was cool at the same age. Whoops.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it because that seems weird to me.
There was some stuff that was pretty dumb in the early 2000s. Remember those jeans that didn't have the seam down the middle?
Yeah,
Those were horrible.
those were dumb.
There was some pretty dumb stuff, but overall, if everyone just kind of dressed like the early 2000s again, I'd be down.
Me too. I also heard that people are partying to Blink-182 music and stuff.
Dude,
I'm like super down with all of this.
I think I've had this conversation with you already about how like new music is really struggling because of streaming and algorithms and just kind of and the aging libraries of established artists are being sucked up by like
Yes, that's crazy.
VC capital backed just like holding firms, and like pretty much the value of old music for the first time ever is greater than the value of new music. Like I put on just popular music on some random streaming platform and it just plays stuff that I'm like, whereas when I listen to stuff that my mom and dad listened to, I'm like, that's very different.
Yeah.
But as soon as everything just went computerized, well, okay, yeah, we're just playing around with new ideas of what we can do with a computer, essentially. And I know that obviously there's going to be niche genres that are different or whatever, but at the end of the day, a lot of the popular music is still going to be like you've seen that bit. I forget what the guys are called, but every popular song is like 3 chords or whatever.
Yeah. It's funny, but yeah.
And that's not going to stop being a thing because there's actual physiological reasons for it, like the resonance and like of those chords like feels good in your body and stuff. Like it's a whole thing. So it's not going away. But I was at a dance recital for one of my progeny, and the main act from like the senior kids was a dance off between M&Ms and M&Ms. So they played a variety of like, and when I say Eminem music, I don't mean anything he's done semi-recently. I mean like, hi, my name is what? My name is like old, like 1999, 1998 Eminem music.
Wow.
And then they had the other team of dancers being like, I want candy. Dun, dun, dun. So they were M&Ms and M&Ms.
Yeah.
And they did kind of like a dance battle between them. It was pretty cute. Anyway, I'm kind of sitting here going, why is this relevant? This doesn't make any sense.
It does seem kind of weird, right? Like, I don't know. I had a theory very temporarily that people were partying to Blink-182 so that the like millennials next door wouldn't get mad. but I don't know.
I mean, I'd rock out to Blink 182.
Yeah.
Apparently, Simple Plan like just never got uncool. Like,
Really?
Emily Seddon and I were bonding over like loving Simple Plan on the way back from our trip to see the Steam Deck. Because I forget why, but we ended up having to drive. And we ended up stuck in the car for, 3.5 hours or something like that. I don't know that they like still are.
I was just trying to see if they still release music.
We both were like super into Simple Plan in high school. And I'm like, dude, we are not close enough in age to be into the same stuff in high school.
She's also a Gilmore Girls fan, which also ended way before.
But Simple Plan didn't end. Like, she was listening to new Simple Plan in high school, and so was I. So she didn't even know a lot of their old songs, and I'm like, dude. And she's like, dude, this is great.
They have a song from 8 months ago that has 1 million views. That's not like insane for music these days on YouTube.
Nope.
But it's not.
Irrelevant.
It's still 1 million views.
Yep.
For a band that's been going this long, that's like pretty good.
And they make their money touring anyway. Like any small.
A lot of their videos are touring videos for sure.
Like any small band. Like I saw them live at the Croatian Cultural Center.
Yeah.
To give you some idea. It was awesome. Super intimate venue. Nowhere to sit.
I prefer those by a lot.
It was great. I saw them again at the Pacific Coliseum, and it was fine.
Yeah, not as good.
But like Croatian Cultural Center, dude, it was awesome. I actually just think I might be over going to big concerts.
Yeah, so I agree, but I am agreeing with you even more. Em and I went to go see the Stardew Valley concert.
Wait, Simple Plan is opening for Avril. She was in town. I was like, I found out the day before the show, and I was like, Fawn, do you want to like go? Because she's got a bunch of Avril in her playlist right now. And she was like, I don't know, maybe not. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, forget it. If I knew Simple Plan was there too, I think that might have pushed me over the edge. Sorry, go ahead.
Right, yeah, Em and I went to the Stardew Valley concert, and it was in a very surprisingly small venue. I guarantee you they could have booked one significantly larger and still sold out, because they sold out like fast. But it was great. It was awesome. And a big part of the reason why it was awesome was because it wasn't huge.
I saw the Bare Naked Ladies at a WWF, not World Wrestling Federation, World Wildlife Fund, at a WWF benefit concert in like one of the like small Vancouver theaters.
Yeah.
So it was like 400, 500 people or something like that.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing. So good. And then I saw them again at like GM Place or whatever that arena is called now. And it was like, man, I can kind of make out like the weird guy who ended up being like coked out doing his weird like kick dance or whatever. Like, I don't know, it wasn't that great. And thank you, Duke of Gondor. I agree. My Knucks shirt is sick. My sister made it for me. She had kind of a thing where she would go to thrift stores and buy unloved things that had something wrong with them, and then she would combine them into something that someone would love. And she actually made me a couple of, so you can see it's hand stitched,
right? Kind
of poorly, because she was just like, I don't know, whatever. Realistically,
but it looks like it was meant to look that way.
Yeah, realistically, any amount of remaining life in this is more than it had before.
Yeah.
So she actually made me a couple of these. One was this, because she was just like, yeah, I don't know, you like the Knucks, because I was pretty into the Knucks back then, and it was hard to buy merch with the old logo. Yeah. And I liked the old logo more.
The old logo's sick.
And
the skate, very classic.
She did me another one that was she found a Marineland shirt. You know that aquarium water exhibition, like that park that was in Niagara Falls, Ontario, or maybe is still there? So she and I did a cross-country trip with my mom when I got my driver's license. Mm-hmm. And
you drove?
Yeah,
that's kind of
the day I got my license.
You went across the country.
Yeah,
nice.
And my sister went too, because she got her license at the same time as me, actually, even though she was older. And so the three of us went across the country.
One heck of a way to learn.
Yep. One moment.
No worries. Do you want me to cover something, or are you good?
Anyway, no, I'm good.
Okay.
So one of the places that I wanted to go was Marineland. And the only reason I wanted to go there, it was like my one request. Okay. So my mom wanted to go to Halifax and eat Atlantic lobster. And we were
Okay.
like, okay, I mean, yeah, we're going across the country. We're not going to eat Atlantic lobster.
Good goal.
All right.
Absolutely.
And my thing was I wanted to go to Marineland. And the only reason that I cared, it was that they had this super catchy jingle on TV when I was a little kid.
It worked. The marketing was effective.
Yeah, so they just had this catchphrase in the jingle. Everyone loves Marineland. And yeah,
I remember it.
You
now.
know the one, Niagara
I couldn't
Ontario.
think of it until you said it.
Marineland is the place to go. Seeing friends you miss, a great big kiss. Everyone loves Marineland. Yeah, so so that's the only reason I cared.
That was so well done. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, it's an earworm for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, we didn't get to Marineland because my birthday and the start of the school year lined up in such a way that our trip was pretty short.
Yeah.
And we made the difficult call to not go down into Canada's penis and visit Niagara Falls.
It's kind of true.
Yeah, and
Get America.
Anyway. I mean, they definitely put more of their culture in us than we do in them. So,
Yeah.
Anywho, we didn't make it. So many years later, she came across a random Marineland T-shirt, and so she cut it out for me and made me. She also made me a Marineland shirt. And the reason I don't have that one on today is that I actually wore it so much. Like, it was this obnoxious bright orange T-shirt with like a sort of poorly cut out, and that was kind of the vibe.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of her jam, right?
Yeah.
Was that it didn't look like it was supposed to be like that.
But it looks like it was done on purpose.
Yeah.
That's that like it feels like a design
So I just had this random Marineland logo on the shirt, and that's the story. I forget why I'm even I forget why am I even talking about this story? Oh yeah, someone said they liked my Knucks shirt.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So that's the memorial I'm attending today.
Yeah. Yeah. AMD publishes bad benchmarks.
Sure.
AMD released benchmarks for their new Zen 3 chips, the 5800 XT and the 5900 XT, apparently binned versions of the 5800X and the 5950X, which claim that gaming performance is on par or better than Intel's 13th gen i5 13600KF and the i7 13700K, respectively. They achieved these misleading results by pairing each CPU with a 3-year-old entry-level GPU, the Radeon RX 6600, which effectively neutralizes the performance difference of each CPU by heavily GPU limiting their tests. Hardware Unboxed called out the bogus benchmarks and published results of their own tests using both the RX 6600 and the RX 7900 XT, which showed significant differences in the performance of the various CPUs when GPU limitations were less of a factor. And the discussion question is AMD's marketing lying about the performance of their CPUs or simply setting up a scenario that paints their hardware in the best possible light? Does it matter?
I mean, it matters.
It matters.
But it also is why we have independent media and why we need to take... The funny thing to me about this one is that AMD doesn't have to do this.
Yeah. They're doing really well in the CPU game right now.
And it's so...
Seems like an unnecessary risk.
Back to my Qualcomm meeting, it's, when someone's coming in from a position of strength, like they are, with their battery life claims and all of that.
Hey, you can go to sleep.
It's very rare. It's very rare that they are the ones that are fudging. Nvidia was in such a dominant position for so long that they started actually creating tools like their PCAT, which completely changed the game for power monitoring for GPUs. Mm-hmm. Their FCAT, which completely changed the game for monitoring frame times.
Yeah.
They came out with these tools and equipped independent media to better validate that their solution was way better. And that was in their best interest. So normally, when you're in a position of strength, you're the one who is working hard to make sure that independent media coverage correctly identifies how much butt you're kicking.
Yeah.
Right? It's very unusual for the leader to come in and just fool around like this. And this is one of those ones that I kind of look at and I go, there's no way that the technical people liked this. Like I've met plenty of people at AMD over the years. There's no way the technical anyone liked this. I don't even think that this is particularly aligned with AMD's overall behavior as a company. So I have a hard time believing that top brass thought this was okay. This seems like one of those
slipped through.
This seems like one of those middle layer things where someone with decision-making power of some sort was
had
like
some bonus structure. They were trying to hit something maybe.
They're really trying to sell a bunch of these chips for some reason and pushed this through. And AMD needs to go back internally and figure out what happened here and make sure it doesn't happen again. Yeah, no, this is over the line for me, for sure. This is beyond presenting your product in the best light, and this is into misleading territory.
This does look like I just found the actual chart. Do you want to go to my screen?
I don't know why it doesn't work.
I still don't have it's pretty suspicious.
What?
All results are up too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty suspicious. They have other charts as well. I don't remember exactly where they are. There we go. Which also feel
what?
Pretty suspicious.
What is that chart?
All results are up too again, by the way.
Yeah, sure. All right.
100% of what?
The 13600 whatever.
Yeah.
KF.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What else we got? Oh, DJI drones. Oh, is it? Oh, it's WAN after dark, but it's not late. So what are we calling it?
WAN afternoon.
Oh, but it's not afternoon yet.
We can do topics for 6 minutes.
Let's do that.
All right.
Okay. The U.S. House of Representatives approves a bill that could ban the sale and use of DJI drones. Wow, I didn't know that second part. Not just the sale, you can't even use them?
Oh.
The Countering CCP Drones Act passed the House as part of the 2025 National Defense Budget.
Name.
And that will place DJI on the FCC's covered list, banning them from sale to any entity receiving federal funding. Oh, okay. The features that sparked concerns of spying from U.S. regulators were first implemented by DJI because of U.S. regulators and government pressure. It's uncertain whether the FCC would also ban DJI drones from using regulated wireless frequencies. Should they do so, DJI would effectively be blocked from operating in the U.S. and existing drones could be grounded. Wow. Discussion question here is, at what point are American regulators shooting themselves in the foot? There is no US-made alternative for consumers, and DJI is like 80% of the drone market. Yeah. Neat.
They might be trying to make one. If you've been paying attention to the war in Ukraine, there's a really crazy documentary out called is it Darwin, Ukraine. Yeah, if you just YouTube Darwin and Ukraine, you'll find a Scripps News video, which is a really crazy like mini doc on the drone warfare that's going on over there. And there's really kind of wild things happening as well to the up-armoring that's happening to tanks and other various armored vehicles to defend themselves from these drones.
Yeah, with like netting hanging off of them and stuff like that.
And just like extra plates that are offset from the tank. It's like there's all this crazy stuff going on. So owning drone manufacturing and having that supply chain in your own country might actually be something that U.S. wants, and this might be one of the ways that they try to strong arm it, is like open up a big market segment so that some U.S. company can come up and start making stuff.
Right.
I don't know. That's some pretty... I'm stretching the theory there a little bit, but I wouldn't be too surprised just looking at the things going on.
It's not the craziest thing I've heard.
Yeah. More random stuff.
What, do you want to do gaming roundup?
Where's that?
Yeah, David threw this in. Nintendo Direct. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is the first Legend of Zelda game where Zelda is the protagonist. except it's the third time. She was the main character in 2 different CDI games that Nintendo was hoping we had forgotten about. It looks similar in style to 2019's Link's Awakening remake, but differentiates itself with a nifty echo mechanic that allows you to make copies of certain objects.
That's cool.
Pretty cool. Metroid Prime 4 still exists. We got to see the first gameplay snippets. It's coming to Switch 1, but hard to believe that what we saw in the trailer is actually running on that hardware. So good luck, everybody. We'll see. And there's a new Mario Party called Jamboree.
Hopefully it doesn't suck.
7 boards with 2 returning classics, over 110 minigames, 20-player online multiplayer in the Koopathon mode. But will they still make you sit through a tutorial every time you play? Only time will tell.
Probably.
Lots of RPGs like Mario and Luigi Brothership, Fantasian, Dragon Quest III, HD2D Remake, and HD remasters of Donkey Kong Country Returns and Luigi's Mansion 2. In other gaming news, get ready to be mad. Todd Howard says he wants to make annual DLC for Starfield. Will Luke play?
No.
Got him!
The next line says maybe they should focus on making players happy first to stop the recent review bombing due to monetizing mods. Yeah. If you want to cyberpunk your game, you need to make it good, not just keep working on it.
Beyond Good and Evil's getting an HD remaster for its 20th anniversary, and the original has been pulled from storefronts, and the sequel still never got released. It's pretty funny. Okay. The last news topic that we have here is Banana. Last week, we brought up Banana, a Steam game that has now touched first place on the Steam charts for current active players. In this game, players click a banana to try to earn banana skins that can be sold on the Steam marketplace. Some had speculated early on that this game was a scam or some form of market manipulation. Even more so once they found out that one of the devs, These Lions, had been involved with a Steam market Bitcoin scam/bug before. Banana's co-owner, Aesthetic Spartan, released a statement on their Discord server saying, "We did not know about this until recent videos started to point this out, and we had a talk almost immediately with the whole team about the situation." What do you mean, whole team?
The whole team.
We gave him the chance to explain the situation to us, and we know he is showing remorse and is sorry about what happened in the past. Since then, the Banana team has parted ways with These Lions, adding that his inventory was cleared out of bananas to help calm any concerns with the community. Discussion question. Banana has said they assure you this isn't a scam, and they do have big plans for content for this game in the future. What do you think their plans could be? You literally click a banana. Well, I think it's more skins.
I think it's more skins.
Maybe peels. But, oh man, there was a pun there. Maybe appealing ones. Damn it. Clearly off my game today.
That was a good pun, though. You just got it a little late.
Yeah, you really slipped on that one.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a bruiser.
Oh, no, make it stop!
I hate it here.
Oh, man. Okay. I'm like scared there's more coming.
What, like a bunch more puns?
Oh.
Hey!
Oh. I think really if they wanted to do anything other than just add more skins, which is probably all they're actually going to do, the only real route forward is just cookie clickering it even more.
How do you cookie clicker something more?
Just partially automate the game.
Oh, God.
Make it so that you can buy like banana farms, make it go faster.
Make it so the game only automates if you're willing to let your GPU mine crypto in the background.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah.
But they'll give you skins.
Yeah. Oh,
banana coin.
Yeah.
Here we go.
They should make it so that the upgrades that increase the automation rate, instead of like in Cookie Clicker where you just like buy them with cookies, in this game they should be tradable, so you can buy them with dollars.
What do you call like a counterfeit skin? A banana phony.
Oh man, I can't take it anymore. Oh.
All right, I think it's time for afternoon, which is what we're calling After Dark today. So I guess, hold on, I think I've got an idea.
I think Luke is going bananas. Oh no. Oh, it's brighter. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Hey, look. Nice, Dan.
Thank you.
Oh, you added the flying stuff? When did you do that?
That was Conrad.
Oh.
We have flying toasters for this week. And I believe we also have the new afternoon sponsors.
Okay, I legitimately don't think we should use those because there could be a copyright concern there. I explicitly said don't
Conrad,
do that.
you got to ask me before you do that.
Anyway, I think it was actually Dan's idea to turn up the lights for after.
Oh no, I think that was Luke.
That was me. That's
was
okay,
it you?
though. I played it off because it seemed more fun in the moment that you made it up.
Yeah,
yourself.
that's why I did that.
Oh,
it just seemed like whatever. The point is, Dan, want to hit us with a merch message for? Oh, that is really bright.
And the heater has come on, or the cooler has come on as well. I'm gonna just take it down
because the light's like trying really hard.
Something like
I
that.
guess.
Oh, I think that's part. No, I forbid it. I want it at full brightness.
Yeah,
done.
It's just it's part of the vibe.
It's midday. It's hot out. We need a fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the OLED safe. Just gonna move.
We can hear the fan. Yeah, because it's afternoon.
Yeah. It's the sun. That's what the sun sounds like.
100%.
What's up, LDL? This one's specifically for Luke. Knowing that you've played a lot of Tarkov and other first-person shooters, have you tried Body Cam? And if so, what are your thoughts on the game?
It looks crazy. Have you seen it?
I saw the early previews, and I saw that it's out now.
We've talked about it on WAN.
It looks wild. I haven't had a chance to try it yet.
Okay, I try it this week, maybe? Because I'm excited to hear your thoughts on it as well.
I will try it before next WAN. I'll give you guys that because we've talked about this on WAN a couple.
Yeah, just like he's going to finish Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, just like that.
This is the first weekend I will have been home for in a month.
Interesting.
So
because you have to be home to play what's practically a mobile game at this point. Sure.
Kind of.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of.
Maybe if you weren't such a cheap, then you would have a Steam Deck or something.
That has made it more complicated.
Up next, DLL. Question for Luke. Again, what technology have you used in your weight loss or fitness journey? I want something for tracking my heart rate that isn't a watch to use my kettlebells.
This is going to make you disappointed. Quite genuinely, for a long time, the extent of the technology that I used was a phone so that I could have AirPods in, listening to either podcast or music, and quite literally a pen and paper. You really don't need much. Tracking your heart rate, one of the fairly easy ways to sort of do it is if you have to breathe with your mouth open, you're probably in zone 2. So you're doing good. If you can get by just breathing through your nose, that's like not a super high heart rate generally. So try to push it like a little bit more if you're trying to get like cardio out of that situation. And if it gets to the point where you have to breathe through your mouth, then you're pushing yourself a bit. You're probably in zone 2.
There are exceptions, but for most people, if what you're trying to do is get in better shape, then whatever time you spent earning money to buy whatever gadget you spent time shopping for,
you should have just
you just worked out.
Yeah. And there's ways that are super simple. Like if you're very not in shape, go for a walk. Not even a like high speed walk. Just get outside and move, and it'll be a million miles better than what you were doing before. There's another one where like if speed is an issue, like if there's issues with I don't know, something, and going fast is a problem. So the walking is good and you're trying to up it, but jogging is like an issue for some reason. You can crank the angle of a treadmill in the gym and then stay at a walking speed but have an increased angle, and it's way harder. And it'll crank your heart rate up. It'll use muscles in your legs quite heavily. You can just walk at like 3 kilometers an hour on a treadmill, but have the angle be really high, and it'll be difficult for you. But yeah, honestly, I didn't use much. I didn't use a heart rate monitor. I didn't use anything really way too fancy. I just got out and did stuff and saw results and was happy.
Linus, you once mentioned cats being like lightning in a bottle. Can you please elaborate? Also, howdy, Luke.
Well, think about it this way. Lightning, very dangerous. Lightning in a bottle, not very dangerous. Like, those little like plasma globes that they have at, little like science exhibits. So I think you can like just buy them at like dollar stores now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what I like is very, very dangerous stuff, but like cute sized. And so to me, cats are basically that. They are such a honed killing machine. Like I love them. I think they're beautiful. Everything about them is designed to, as efficiently as possible, remove the entrails of anything that they decide to remove the entrails of. They are apex predators, and the only reason that a house cat isn't is its size. And so, I like things that if I was much smaller, so if I was this big, that bottled lightning would be very dangerous. And in the same way, if I was this tall, my cat would not be fun. My cat would be terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
But because I'm much larger than it, it's just my snuggly, hello, baby.
That's why I want a Maine Coon.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I've always wanted an animal in my house that if I sleep in too long, it'll just probably eat me. The fear makes it fun.
Funny Hat says house cats are one of the most efficient predators with an extremely high success rate.
Yeah, but of small things.
Don't let your house cats outdoors unless you don't like having birds in your neighborhood. It's actually a problem.
Yes.
Decimated the population.
Yeah.
I've got a message here that's not a merch message from James Stribe. You know him.
Yes.
Wondering if you guys want to discuss this on the show.
Oh.
What does the audience think of us paying homage to Corda Crew's VFX artist React thumbnails by copying their thumbnail style in our tech experts React thumbs?
Did we do that?
Would that be perceived as homage or rip-off stealing?
I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't think Nico would
I
care.
think that's sort of how YouTube has sort of always worked.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you guys let us know, but I don't even think that's a question. I thought I already told James just do it. Because our click-through is not great on that video, but it's a great video and people love it. So
Yeah.
I just need more people to click on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as our color's different, I don't think it really matters.
Hi, DLL.
It's not like they invented the concept of like people react to anything anyway. In fact, famously, Fine Bros tried to trademark React videos at some point, or like the React branding for videos, and it failed miserably and everyone hated that. So like, no, it's very much just a genre at this point. And
Yeah, don't do the yellow outline.
Yeah, don't do a yellow outline because that's their thing.
Clearly theirs. That feels like brand identity stuff. Don't take that.
Yeah.
Hi, DLL. Would the Snapdragon X Elite have been better received if it had been marketed as a low-power alternative rather than all of the hype of an x86 killer? Is this the gen AMD wins mobile?
I don't think that... Well, I mean, it depends, because AMD's success in mobile comes more down to how much fab capacity they've booked than the strength of their design. They've had a stronger design for a couple of gens now. And yeah, just it's you can't build out an entire mobile product portfolio based on AMD's mobile chips because they don't have enough of them. At some point, you're just not going to get a shipment. Not everyone can do that all at once. They can't just quintuple, or I forget what their market share is in mobile, but essentially they would have to like 5 or plus X their shipping output in order to just completely displace Intel, whereas Intel has their own fabs, right? So it's just not that simple. But in terms of like winning the battery life and performance, man, like I've been using a Flow X13 for the last little bit, and it just kills, dude. It's awesome. And that's an AMD based design. And if I didn't have that 4070 GPU in it, it would probably be even more efficient. That merge message got archived. I was kind of referring back to it because my brain is slow. No, it's fine. It's all good. I think that overhyping things is bad, but I also don't know if it was a tactical error on Qualcomm's part, because I think that the percentage of people that watch a Dave 2D video compared to the percentage of people that saw the hype machine is probably much lower. And I think overall, the message is actually going to end up being correct for the majority of people who would buy a thin and light laptop. So that's a major thing to consider, is that something can be true to one person and not necessarily true to another. I could hand you a Chromebook and I could say, this does anything that you would need to do with a computer. Depending who I'm talking to, that's either very true or very false, or somewhere in between, right? And I think to the Qualcomm customer for this thin and light design, what they're saying about it being an x86 killer is very true. I think that there are ways that they could have tempered expectations, particularly on the gaming side.
Yeah. The gaming, well, we'll see once more benchmarks come out, but yeah, it feels like it's going that direction.
Overall, I'm still pretty optimistic. And on the gaming side, we actually have a stream planned. I believe we're going to be doing it next week, where you guys are going to be telling us what games you want to see.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
so we'll probably be doing
live benchmarks?
Yeah, like merch messages for people to let us know what game.
Cool.
And we'll just be trying stuff. It's going to be it's going to be fun.
I really like the whole like live benchmarks of a new thing concept. I think we've been talking about that for years. I think it's great.
WAN Show afternoon is brought to you by PIA VPN. Head to piavpn.com/LinusWAN for a special deal. We got a little QR code there. So the number of people that watch on their TVs just keeps going up. So just point your phone at your TV.
That's why you do a QR code.
Pretty wild, hey?
I get it now.
Yeah, TV viewership.
Like, why would I ever do that?
YouTube is like taking over the TV. Crazy.
It makes sense.
Yeah, living room strategy is like
totally shifting.
Huge for them right now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wild.
You sign up for PIA, you forgot to use the code. No, you. LXFN 724. You.
Can you retroactively add it?
Unsubscribe from PIA. Resubscribe with our code. PIA is not going to like that.
No problem.
Actually, they're probably not going to care. I don't think they even
notice.
I don't think they even watch our spots.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hi, DLL. I work for an automotive OEM as a troubleshooting engineer. Since starting, I have noticed how little some people know about areas outside their own. Are other areas in tech like this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how the world works.
And the where we really run into trouble is when people assume that other people know anything about their little bubble that they live in or care.
Yeah, that one's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the truth is,
I suspect you have a decent amount of problems with that, actually.
Yeah, probably.
In the automotive industry, there's probably a decent
as a troubleshooting enginenger,
don't care.
The number of people that want to hear about, oh man, the number of people that want to hear about, this like switch failure that, you spent 3 months chasing down or whatever, like, I care. I think that's super cool.
Me too. Thank you for doing that work.
Yeah, I appreciate you. But a lot of people are going to be like,
All right, next up.
Okay, let's see. LLD. When trading a phone in, I always format, then max out storage with Linux ISOs, and then reformat. Been called paranoid, but with the recent Apple issues, this is an effective way to protect personal data.
Well, I don't know if that would help with the recent Apple issue, because I thought that was things getting restored from iCloud anyway. So, no. For flash storage, to my knowledge, if you do a secure erase, which formatting a phone should do, there is absolutely no reason to fill it up with Linux ISOs.
Sounds fun, though.
Hello, funny names here. Linus, have you noticed any changes in viewership in recent weeks? I feel like my YouTube homepage has no clue what I actually want to see lately.
Yes, YouTube's going to be up for a visit very shortly, and I plan to have some conversations with them about some of the trends that I've noticed recently where it feels like they have an extremely fast burn on new content, where they'll put it up, they'll promo it, and if it doesn't go absolutely mega banger viral, within a day they're just like, you know what, forget it. And
so in general, that absolutely seems correct. I'm not saying I disagree, but they seem to have weird cases as well, where like I've had one particular video that was suggested to me on the day that it launched, and it is now 4 weeks old, and it has suggested it to me every single time I've loaded YouTube since. Like, what? I'm clearly not clicking on this. I'm choosing not to click on this every time.
That's tough.
Why are you still serving to me?
So I'm also noticing, what I'm noticing is the curve. Instead of looking parabolic, right, and approaching an asymptote, it goes up, flattens, and then in some cases, very slowly, like doesn't quite asymptote. So some videos are still doing okay, but a lot of them are just... So YouTube has this metric in the dashboard where they tell you, out of your last 10 uploads, what the one that you just uploaded is ranked. And it updates it constantly because it has to be relative to the hour after release, right? If it's only been up for an hour, obviously it would be the worst out of the last 10 because they were uploaded, anywhere from a week to 3 weeks ago, and they've got lots more views, right? So it's relative to the original upload time. And over the last couple of weeks since Computex, we have had many, like not one or two or probably more than five, I think. Yeah, so like many. We've had many videos, many examples of videos that have started out above the fold, like as a top 5, and then flattened out and gone like bottom 2, bottom 3.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over again. And I don't know if it's related, but do you remember that video I showed you of that crazy underhand picture that I shared with you like a long time ago?
I think so.
Where he's got this like wild deliver, and then he'll throw it behind his back, and the batter never even knows he like released the ball. Like,
yeah.
Okay. I was trying to find that video to show Chewy, and I kept searching. You probably heard me like raging about this after softball yesterday because I couldn't find it. I kept searching like underhand history, weirdest picture. Like I kept 1920s, 1930s. Like I kept searching for every search term I could possibly think of to find this guy, and it kept just giving me like modern MLB highlights, or not even like that modern, like a video from 8 years ago, but 100% MLB. No matter how many times I searched underhand, softball, it didn't matter. It just kept talking about, what's it called? So there's overhand, there's sidearm, and then there's like an overhand pitch motion, but like under or something. It is called something. It kept bringing up stuff about that. I'm like, I am looking for not that. And no matter what I searched for, it was bringing up like the same half dozen videos.
I was in a meeting with Taryn, trying to find one of my like ancient, like 7 or 8 year old videos as an example of something really quick.
Yeah.
And we kept on talking about other things in the meeting. I spent probably 20-25 minutes trying to find it. I ended up getting the search terms right, and it just wouldn't show it to me. When I finally found it, I had the title. I was searching for the title of the video, and it wouldn't bring it up. But it would bring up, it was all Linus Tech Tip stuff.
Yeah.
But it was just all within like the last however many months. It would not find like almost exact word for word title that I was searching.
So I've told them this before, but in the early days of them responding to TikTok, they I felt they leaned too hard into immediacy, the importance of immediacy, and I think
Which doesn't feel like YouTube.
I think they've gone down that path again, where it's like, no, YouTube is a repository. YouTube is not about only what's been uploaded in the last little while. That's not the point of it. Anyway, for those of you who are wondering, it's about a half-hour video. I think this is the one that I watched. Let me just see if I can find it. This might not be the one that I actually watched about him. Let me see if I can find it. Anyway, whoops. Look up Eddie Feigner. Absolutely incredible. I forget whose video on him is like really awesome. It might be this one from Tony something. No, someone did a whole history on him, but he is the wildest pitcher that you've ever heard of. If you don't care about baseball or softball at all, doesn't matter. Go look it up. You know what? Maybe I'll find the exact video. The one video that's doing pretty well on him is from a couple of years ago. It's called "Why You've Never Heard of the Best Athlete Ever." I don't know if this is the one that I watched that was so good, though. No, I don't think it is. Anyway. Oh, someone's calling. Yeah, please text me. Cool, see you later. All right, what else we got?
Linus, what is your preferred flavor of Halo CE? 2v2, 4v4, or 8v8? Do you have any strong opinions on spawn killing things?
So, fun fact, I didn't have a lot of money, and I didn't actually buy Halo CE. I played the demo, which had one map, Blood Gulch.
The best one, so it's okay.
Yeah, and had one mode, Capture the Flag.
The best one, so it's okay.
So I just played Blood Gulch 8v8, Capture the Flag, until my wrist was raw from rubbing against my mouse pad.
Luckily, that is the way to go. Yeah.
Hey, on the subject of borrowing things...
Sorry, one sec. Is that coming through?
I have no idea. Maybe.
I can hear it, but...
Yeah, we have a little bit of a different feed. Do you want me to go scream at them?
I just want to make sure that people don't like say stuff that shouldn't be on WAN, you know?
Okay.
Cool.
Because it's their like lunchtime.
That's true. Hey, on the subject of borrowing things from the office, what has been the most painful item that has gone missing from inventory?
Oh, the most painful by far was the 8 GPUs server.
That went missing from inventory?
Yeah, we accidentally threw it away. The 8 GPUs, or 8 gamers, 1 CPU, the like super micro multi GPU server.
How do we throw something like that away?
Dude, if I knew...
I thought you were going to say the Pippin.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I thought it was called the Pigeon, and then someone in chat said Pippin, and I was like,
our @Mark Pippin went missing. I don't know what happened to that.
Because that's sad. Especially because it was in like perfect condition.
Man, I still can't find the right Eddie Feigner video. There's one that's like
it's tough.
There's one that's like a VHS of him like training on stuff.
It feels like we lost like an encyclopedia of humanity to a certain degree. Because like there's old videos that are important that you like can't find anymore, which isn't how it's supposed to work. It's bad. It's bad. I've also personally found that I'm actually like less motivated to watch YouTube things these days, which seems bad for them. So maybe they want to address that, because it will forcibly, only give me the new things or randomly decide some video they're just going to recommend to me for a month straight without me clicking on it, is resulting in a lot less like rabbit holing. Like my favorite thing to do on YouTube, where I like find some weird section of YouTube I haven't seen in a long time. That's not happening as much because it's not suggesting me these like weird off the wall things.
That hasn't happened for a long time. I used to love YouTube, and now it's just even one video that I've specifically searched out, it's now recommending me things that it thinks I want to watch instead of allowing me to do that.
Yeah.
Like you have to click on a sub-tab that is about this topic, and it's not always correct.
Yeah.
Eh.
Don't like.
More?
Icky. Yes.
This one's for Luke. Are you done FF6 yet? I've been playing it with my daughter. We are going to finish it before you at this rate. Linus, thanks for the sweet merch. Products.
Heck yeah.
I'm home this weekend. I'm going to try to play it. But
Sure.
now I got to play
now you got to play the other thing. And then you also have to do that other thing as well. So
yeah.
Never. How would YouTube function with Linus as CEO? This is great. Would people be mad at YouTube being public with Linus being transparent about projects as opposed to the secret approach YouTube takes with experiments?
I just wouldn't be able to. I legally they would have a lot of obligations around secrecy that I just wouldn't really be able to. I wouldn't be able to be transparent about.
Hi, DLL. My city just adopted AI in its non-emergency 911 line to ease work of the 911 operators as they are understaffed. If it hears certain phrases or words, it will transfer you to a human. Thoughts?
It really doesn't seem that great.
Hey, Linus, how did you find Sea of Stars? I loved it. My kids were really into it, which was great. Now that Fantasian has been allowed out of iOS jail, are you going to pick it up again?
No, I'm not. We talked about that earlier. What was the earlier part of that question? Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars, yeah.
I thought Sea of Stars was good. It was shallow. And I don't want any spoilers, but I didn't like one of the directions they went with the story.
Something. True. Yeah.
Hey, DLL, my pet bed comes in time since moving in with my girlfriend.
We don't need to know that much.
Her dog fits it perfectly.
Oh, good. Thanks for that, Luke.
Yucky. Question for Linus. Did you ever work on side projects that required money investment, but wife didn't agree or trust it?
Sure. You're looking at one right now. No, she agreed.
Oh man.
No, we believe in getting aligned on things, right? So if we don't agree, then we have to keep talking about it until we agree. So either I'm working on the side project and she agrees, or I'm not working on the side project and she agrees.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the treatment of AI as product versus a feature of a larger product? It seems to me that AI forward products are finally dying off, and we can get back to real tech.
Man, finally dying off is a strong statement to make, while basically every startup is just trying to like be an AI startup and we'll figure out what to do with it later.
Yeah.
No, I think we're very much in the thick of that. By the way, I think the video I'm looking for may just not be available anymore, because I found someone that has a playlist of a bunch of like Eddie Feigner videos, and maybe it used like copyrighted footage or something, but it was way better than all of these because it had like a ton of him just pitching, just like wild pitches. It was not wild pitches like what it means in baseball where you like throw it way away from the base, but like just these wicked crazy pitches. But yeah, I suspect that maybe it's just been removed. So that's really unfortunate because it was a really awesome video and there's just not enough about this guy. He's super cool.
Sup, boys? Question for Mr. LaFrontend. I think you previously mentioned you played rugby.
Yeah.
If so, did you enjoy it? And what position did you play?
I did. I played 8th man, which I've heard I don't really have the build for, but I definitely did well enough. My school was really bad, but it was fun. The people on the team were fun. We had like our whole maneuver was this guy named Jesse would get it as far up the field as he could, and then he would pass to me, and I would get it up as far on the field as I could. And if that didn't make it pretty much the whole way, we pretty much would not score a try. That was like sort of how it worked, but it was entertaining. The team was really cool. I had a lot of fun and I enjoyed the sport. I just, we just weren't great, but it is what it is.
And last one I've got for you here. Hi, Dan, Dan's boss and Dan's boss's boss, majority shareholder. That's a good one. With most companies in the semi-late stage capitalism blatantly disregarding consumer rights, is legislation the only solution left?
Yep.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
I mean, we could ask consumers to band together for our rights and boycott companies.
It's a
Good
funny
luck.
idea.
Oh, yeah. That's hilarious. All right. Well, hey, thank you guys very much for tuning into the WAN show. We will see you again next time. Different bad time, but the same bad channel.
Yeah. Bye.
I'm so annoyed that I can't find this video. I think it's gone. And like, I'm so annoyed that I can't tell if it's gone because I can't tell if this is just bad. Yeah.